So we're gonna set our
Hi.
intentions. Nothing but positivity. It's going.
All right, folks, how you doing? Just Jill just showed up. She's sage coning the office. All right, let me do this. We'll go to live chat. We'll give the thumbs up there. The notifications are going out. That's
Bye,
another
Christian and Annalie.
another hump day on the bridge. We're live here. We're gonna do this. There's Jessica and Lisa. Hello, hello, hello.
Earth is gonna think that we're writing the house down. Okay,
Well,
now it's
thanks
going.
to that, we'll do this.
Hi.
Hey,
hi,
Tammy
hi.
S. We're muted?
We are.
No, there we are. Here we shouldn't be.
Can you hear me now? How
Yeah.
about now?
You guys should be able to hear us, right? This shouldn't be an issue. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see everyone again. Say hi to Jill.
Hello.
No, it was me. It was Lisa. Okay. We're good. We just Sabio Blanco this place.
Yeah.
White sage.
Teaching them how to sage.
Sabio Blanco.
It's the only one I like. It's not really strong, and the cone burns down. It's over.
Woo!
There we go.
Libra lady. Just finished dinner and signed back into work. Oh, good, good, good. There's Cheryl Higgs. Good to see you, Cheryl. Hi, Anna Lee. Good to see you, Carrie. Hello, hello, hello.
Hardest working lady on YouTube.
There's Tim. Good to see you, loud and clear. Awesome. Jessica, you notice we have our candle is under the sage cone right now. So we have that for you. We've got a big night planned for everybody tonight, Jill.
We do.
Hi, Giselle. Nydia, good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. There's Joan. Good to see you, Joan. And Sean.
Sean,
Always
I'm
good seeing
actually,
Sean.
it's time to remember the names now.
Yeah.
Thankful.
Plus, there's Darlin.
Hi, Anna Lee. Corey did send me a message.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. So I think we found a little theme for the night. And this just sort of came up between last week's show, taking live questions last night, where it sort of seemed as though the angel decks were calling out to us. And there were a lot of requests for that. So we'll be doing angel deck readings tonight. Jill will be doing angel deck tarot for everyone. Hi, Willow Breeze. Good to see you. And she has brought, of course, her her slew of decks.
And there's still more at home, but I just,
Yeah.
got to fit at least in a backpack in a second bag.
Yeah. And you even brought
Oh.
another deck here for us to use. So Jill brought a deck. She's a gift giver.
I am.
And so we may either give this away at some point, or I may end up using this at some point. We don't know yet. But
We
just
could
figured-
make Corey pull a card tonight. It's a little less intimidating than tarot. Corey, I think we should do a pull. If you've got to pull a card tonight, at least either from the tarot deck or that one. You
Oh,
can
they'll
even
want that.
you can use mine if you don't want to rip the plastic off that one though.
I did forget. So Jill, why don't you? I forgot to set something up for the show. We're doing the prize. So Jill's going to give away a 1 hour free reading for our bridge buddies tonight. If you are not a bridge buddy yet, you can sign up right now and get in on tonight's drawing. It's just $2 a month. Annalie has that link for you. It's not through YouTube, it's through the bridge. So there's no extra fees or anything attached. So there is that for you as well. Hi Dottie, how you doing tonight? It's good to see everybody. Tim thought there were snacks. We have snacks as well.
Of course I did. We're out of cream eggs.
This is your tax for showing up tonight. You show up with cream eggs, and then Annalie hooked me up too. I got to get to the post office sooner than later. So, but we can munch on these tonight, which is great. All right, so Jill, why don't you do your hellos and get caught up on what's been going on with you in the last week or so, or what you're thinking about tonight. I know you usually jot your thoughts down.
I do, and then I can't read my handwriting. But Hi everyone. I'm so happy to be here again tonight, as always. So luckily, Corey can put my email address in the chat now. So that way everyone can, the moderators can keep sharing it. So poor Corey doesn't have to be like the in-between person and like my personal assistant and handing it around. And I know the Facebook thing it's just hard. So I figured it was just easier to give my email address.
Much.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we do have some new ones.
Yeah, so my week, it's been crazy. So actually last weekend I did my certification. I am now a level 1. I have my level 1 Reiki, which is awesome.
Congrats.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was really the first level is all about like self-healing, which I could totally use, which I actually did today during lunch. I definitely needed that for myself. And I'm going to do my second level in May, beginning of May. And my YouTube channel is going to be live sooner than it's actually sooner than I was thinking. I'm actually glad about it. We're going to test it out this weekend. So once it's up and official, I will let everyone know what the name of our channel is and all that stuff. Because we'll need subscribers. You need 100 subscribers to be able to be live, right? So
yeah, something like that, yeah.
And my good friend Corey is going to show me how to do some fancy stuff on YouTube that I don't know how with editing.
Oh yeah,
all that
401.
fun junk.
Anna, good to see you. Joy, Nettie, hello. Willow Breeze, always good to see you. Great to see everyone tonight.
And I do read everyone's comments, and I always want to try to reply, but it's like I only have so many hours in a day.
Yeah,
I keep running out of time.
Lots of engagement. So Jill, why don't you explain why we lean towards the angel decks tonight?
So last week the angel deck was a huge hit. That's what we pulled from. And I kind of like, we don't like when I come here, I don't need to have a specific thing, but I kind of like to have a loose plan. So I was like, so Corey, what do you think? And he's like, whatever you want. So I just kind of sat with everything, and I'm like, I think I should bring my angel decks, because who doesn't love their angels? Our angels are awesome, and I got a lot of them. And just the other thing I felt was like just easy light messages. So I brought my Universe Has Your Back deck, my Power of Thought, just light-hearted stuff. And I did bring, so this one from Rebecca Campbell. This deck, and I have her 2 other ones. I usually pull these for people I use these ones for people in the metaphysical world, because I have another one, which a lot of will love this. It's a Starseed one by her too. I only got 1 million. And funny enough, I got a ton of Doreen Virtue, because she was the OG for angel decks, even though she doesn't really exist anymore. But oh my God, Jonaside. Hey, Jonaside, my buddy's here. Thank you for coming. Still praying for you, honey, that everything works out.
Hi, Gloria. Hi, Joan. Good to see you tonight. Jonaside, good to see you again, too. Yeah, Annalea sat in the table tonight. We want to thank Thankful as well. Thankful Mom for being with us, too.
As always.
I imagine Christian will show up at some point. Last night we were live with Christian Montone. You know him from the Blue Wrench. And Old Guy, John Hoffman, our buddy out in Colorado. We caught up with him, too. That was a fun conversation last night.
I did catch the very beginning and the very end, because I was doing a Zoom call with my 2 friends that I'm doing my YouTube channel with.
Yeah.
So, luckily I typed some stuff out. I had seen a couple of questions that just jumped out that are easy answers. Someone asked where I got that beginner crystal deck for Corey. Amazon. It was that simple. I got it off Amazon. And people keep asking for a card for Bubba. That people want, so I figured we should. Oh my God, and that's one comment I see all the time. And Jessica's beautiful candle.
Look at that, Jessica. We're doing the sage cone on top of what is it? The Keelio candle.
Yes.
Beautiful stuff.
I sent Corey instructions on how to sage his deck, since he might be going on someone's channel.
Yeah, supposedly going on Celtic Tarot Sheila's channel, so we're trying to schedule that at some point.
Oh, hey, Christian.
Oh, Chris, working on a project tonight, so he'll be in and out. That's fine. Good to see you again, buddy.
As always, but he was holding down the fort last night in Bridge Buddy Roulette.
Yeah, we put in a lot of hours last night.
Yes, and I probably missed the middle, but I did get to hear about Old Guy's daughter writing angel books.
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm so excited, because I'm going to buy them right as soon as I find out her name.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he brought that up out of nowhere last night, and I guess she's a published author. It's her fourth book in a 5-book contract, I think, that she has.
Yeah.
So that was impressive to hear. So we said like we'll bring her on for a conversation sometime when the next book comes out. So we'll see what happens with that.
50 Shades of Tarot. It's entertainment purposes only, and it's PG.
Yeah. These decks are PG.
Well, there's someone wrote 50 Shades of Tarot, which I think is awesome. It's kind of my tagline now. I got a deck for everything. That's how I'm going to be known.
That's right. Jelly beans. There is a tarot deck for everything. So
There really, really is. And, like I said before, a lot of mine I don't necessarily use to read because they're more decorative.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other ones that I got because I just were like, they're cool. I actually have pictures of everything. So are you able to share like pictures and videos and stuff? No.
If it's on my desktop, I can screen share and do that, but we can't like drop them into the chat.
No, I knew you couldn't do that in the chat.
But that's the only way I could do it.
Yeah, because I have taken pictures of like my monstrous collection. Because, why not? Why wouldn't
We can
you?
also, but I can always have, if you send that picture to me, I can put it in our community tab.
Yeah, that's
for
what I'll
people
do.
to see.
So people can see it for real. And I have tons of books too, and crystals, and I have an altar.
Where do you put this stuff?
So it's in my finished basement. And that's where it started. Like, so when I was doing my classes, I needed a quiet place. I have 2 boys that still don't leave me alone if my door's shut. So we have a finished basement that is a golf room that came with the house that way. And it was just, I used to sit in this one corner to do my work, and it's just kind of grown. I still don't take up the entire part of the finished basement, but at this point, like I got stuff in the windowsills and I got bookshelves and all that stuff. So it kind of has expanded because to do it, I tried doing stuff upstairs where everybody is, but it's too distracting. And then I gotta lug stuff up and down. But I will say though, like when my son's roommates come, I have to move all my crap. Do you know how fun that is? Because over the years, like I got stuff that's breakable. So if they broke something, I'd have to hurt them.
I'm just playing around with questions people are sending, Jill.
So this was really funny. Last week, I was asked about Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh yeah.
So, and talk about predictive programming too. Oh, Hay House, yes. So Libra Lady, Hay House, that is part of my problem because they do their half off sales. And I've retailed that, like I said before, retail therapy feelings last year being sick. So they would have their half off sales and I'd get, 4 card decks for less than $50. Just saying.
You need a second job, Jill.
This will become well, trust me, my other job that's killing me some days, That's why I work really, really hard, long hours. But it's also collected over the years. And believe it or not, people don't buy me card decks unless at Christmas time if they're on my Amazon wish list. But other than that, nobody ever does, which is actually probably okay at this point.
So I want to rattle off our upcoming schedule because things are kind of weird on my end of things now because we have the house reconstruction which is happening and it actually going well, better than we thought. Like we're a faster pace than we thought, which is good news. But coming up, I believe I'm going to be with Deborah Lupien, Voice of the Akashic Records.
Love Deborah.
On Friday privately to have a reading. Whether we record that or not, we have to figure out. But I got to see if my Friday, I've got some weird stuff going on at work. I got to see if I'm open to do that with her. But regardless, Deborah will be with me at Bridge Cape Ann Tuesday night here on this channel, live again to give readings and whatever. She probably sing a bunch of songs for us too.
Yep.
She's great in that regard. So that is next Tuesday. We'll be with Deborah Lupien once again. Then next Wednesday, I believe Meredith and I will be on for a show.
For someone's birthday.
Yeah, that's it's my birthday that night. Meredith's actually tomorrow night. Tomorrow day. And then we'll probably be answering animal care questions, talking about the house stuff, just hanging out for a while. We think. If anything pops up in the meantime, I'll let you guys know. As you know, Jill is just one text away from always hopping in and helping us out, which we really appreciate. And then later on in April, I'm going to introduce Georgianne and Karen of True North Hypnosis. I'm going to be live from their wellness center in a couple of weeks, and then they'll be side by side with us right here.
I'm so excited for that.
Later in April. So there's that too. And then, Celtic Tarot Sheila and I are working out when I'm going to be a guest on her channel, I believe, learning how to read tarot. That's what she's hell-bent on doing that for me too. So there was that. Also, later on tonight, part 4 of my Blackburn documentary will be up on the channel too. There should be that's going to be up before the newsletter comes out tomorrow morning. There is that. And if you're just tuning in, Jilly Beans is giving away another 1-hour reading with her, and you will definitely get your hour's worth with Jill as we're going to spin the prize wheel later on tonight. So if you want in on that and you aren't already a Bridge Buddy, Annalie has the link if you want to sign up for that, and I can keep checking to add your names to the prize wheel for a spin later on tonight. So there is that. So thanks for putting up with me there.
No, fine.
So Jill, I did get a few questions down yesterday, but I think because people know you're pulling cards,
yeah,
it's more like they kind of wait and then we kind of see what the vibe of the show is, or if they have questions that pop up that I need answering. So how do you want to set the stage for that tonight?
Well, was there any so allergy, I don't know about you, my things are growing.
It's starting now.
Dying already. So I didn't know if there's any some questions that were not related to a reading, because sometimes people will just ask questions about stuff. I don't know if there's anything there.
I do have a few. Okay. If you want to get into it, okay?
Yeah, well, actually, let me just talk about just Gwyneth for 1 second. Let's do the Gwyneth thing.
Yeah, you do that, and I'm going to
crack open a Cadbury.
Did you want one of these, Jilly? Or
I'll have one in front of me for when I'm ready.
Yeah, okay.
I ate my caramel one on the way home. Oh, and by the way, I did not eat all of Corey's cream eggs. I took one caramel with me last week.
I just say you ate them all.
But
I said I ate them all.
But you're like, yeah, Jilly Beans was here, now it's gone. I'm like,
oh, did I?
I'm like, I'm gonna smack him. So I knew nothing about Gwyneth Paltrow getting sued. Predictive programming, I don't know, call it what you want. It was all in my TikTok feed. So I of course have listened. And it's short videos, so I can handle it. Oh, I should show mine.
Cheers.
Cheers. And it's very interesting how, so people either love or hate her, right? And some people are saying she's coming off very privileged and,
Gwyneth Paltrow? Get out of here.
Like how she lost a day of skiing and it was very expensive. And I saw an interesting one where they said Gwyneth's lawyer actually broke their confidentiality agreement because I guess he read emails from her where she was saying, I did not do this was not me. And someone commenting on that was like, that's attorney-client privilege, so that could make things so ugly for her if they now have to disclose everything. And the guy, so I do feel bad, like traumatic brain injuries are horrible and they can change a person's personality. But his thing is, he has 2 personalities now. And it's not, I've never heard of that, but then again, I'm not a medical professional, but he's saying the crash caused this other person, and that is the one who was emailing to sue and all this stuff. There is a good chance, because if he crashed into a tree, I'm sure he does. They were like, yes, definitely he had broken ribs and definitely he got hurt. But, the way, and you got to remember too, TikTok, it's like edited so people can be portrayed, but it really does kind of sound like he's suing her because it's Gwyneth Paltrow. And one of the other things, his lawyer, when he was questioning Gwyneth, said, and how can you be sure? And she says something about the person being colorblind and so many feet away. And they're like, what does colorblindness have to do with it? And she did, because the lawyer's like, well, my husband's colorblind. And she was like, well, if someone's 40 feet away and you're in snow gear, how can you tell who's who? She actually had a valid point, though. I think to say, oh, because he's colorblind, that wasn't it. She her point came across wrong, I think, in that instance. But now the big talk is about the GoPros. That's what everyone's talking about, because supposedly she had a GoPro on. That's the thing with, I don't ski, so. It's yeah. So thank you. It definitely was not on my radar, but it isn't done yet. I don't think the trial's done yet, but I really my gut says like maybe Gwyneth like I mean it was a crash, right? How it's not like a car crash where someone got rear-ended. How do you prove that it was someone? Because like I guess he's saying she was skiing recklessly, but I don't know. You go fast on skis, as far as I know.
So, but I've heard that other people have already said that he went into her, and that a friend of his had a GoPro, and now
Yeah,
suddenly can't find his GoPro. I mean, this guy's full of it to begin with. Whether he's
it's
lost his marbles or something, it's another thing. But
and I guess he's so the guy, the second personality, said to his daughter he was going to become famous now. He said that testifying. It's not looking good for him.
well, I heard one clip of his attorney talking to Gwyneth Paltrow, and she was just like a fangirl about everything, talking about her shoes, and it was like, "You're gone. You're already gone. You got to
Yeah,
calm down."
like, it
and he
just-
what? He was suing for $3 million. Now it's 300,000. That's just like, dude.
And it's like, I mean, I would like someone even had brought up like she probably has personal injury insurance because of who she is, right? There's a good chance, like if he did have medical bills and you know, maybe I just think this is more for the publicity and to maybe get a little bit of his 15 minutes of fame, I guess.
And she's countersuing for $1.
Yeah, because that's just her to prove her point, right?
Yeah.
That's what celebrities do. They take settlements for $1 when they sue like tabloids or donate the proceeds, whatever. So that was just the Gwyneth. So you just reminded me too when you said songs. Yes, happy birthday, Meredith. I know I didn't get to see you weren't here when I got here. You weren't home yet. I'll say happy birthday to her when I leave again. So I get songs too, like Deborah does. Like song lyrics and stuff. When you do readings one-on-one with me, that's when that really comes through. So yesterday when I was just kind of putting together thoughts for today's show, a song came on because I was listening to music and it's Memories by Maroon 5. Now that song has a lot of significance for a certain time period of someone that we lost. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, this is so my friend. And whenever you get a song in your head, the best thing to do is go look up the lyrics. Because like we can sing along to the lyrics and I'm not singing because I don't sing. I'm a background dancer if anything. And when you read the lyrics as just words and not the song, it has such a great meaning. So I think everyone should, if you get a minute, look up the lyrics to Memories by Maroon 5, because it's totally a message from your loved ones. That's just it, you know. Yeah, it was just really powerful, and I'm not going to sing it. Corey, you're looking at me, and I'm like, I'm not going to sing it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No. I do a lot of things, but I don't sing.
No.
I think I sang once on a YouTube thing, but it was for a friend that passed away, so I did get jiggy with it just for him.
There you go.
You know, things I do for the people I love, right?
All right, Jelly Beans, what are we doing now? We taking questions?
So, what do you have for questions for me?
All right, so we have this one from Thankful Mom, one of our wrenches, of course. She wants to know, how do I get the name or the names of my guides? How do we know what their names are?
Well, excuse me. So, I'll be honest, I don't know the names of all my guides. I know they're there. I know what they look like. But so I just have to just say, my friend John aside, our friend, we know him from a friend of ours that unfortunately passed away, and the theme song to their channel comes up all the time on Spotify. Because yeah, you know that's Jiggy. Because our friend that passed away, he's that kind of guy that he will torture us until we acknowledge he's around us. But yeah, they had the best intro music. I'll play a few afterwards. So to get to know your guides, so this is something funny enough. So I do have a deck about Ask Your Guides.
Oh.
The author of this deck, Sonia, I'm never gonna be able to say that last name. You speak better English than I do.
Choquette.
Yes. She was one of the first
Here, I'll hold this up.
audiobooks. Because I used to listen to a lot of audiobooks while I drove. I listened to hers, and she had talked to her whole family is gifted. Like she grew up with like random guests at dinner that weren't really there. And she gave some tips on how to figure out, we all have guardian angels. And if you ask, they will give you a really, really strong, like if you're really like, please, like, I want my guardian angel to come and like show me a sign or show their presence. So I used to drive to Boston, not that I would ever really meditate because I can't meditate and drive, but I would kind of, when you're driving, just kind of be in a quiet space. And I was like, so I was just asking, who are my guardian angels? Are they here? So the latest version of A Star Is Born, which, by the way, that soundtrack, that's amazing. Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. Music to My Heart came on. In this rush of energy, love, and I've said before, me and feelings, I don't always love feelings, or being very public with like very emotional ones. And this love that I felt in my heart almost brought me to tears. I swear to God. I was like, it's my guardian angel. So of course I looked up the lyrics to that song. So if you look up Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga's Your Music to My Heart and read those lyrics, that song comes on whenever I need help or I'm struggling or I ask. So that's one way to find out who your guides are. You do most likely, if you really want to get to know them, meditation is where you typically meet them. Because even with my near-death experience, I don't remember the people I was talking to. I remember seeing family members, but I guess I was talking with my guides. I guess I was more like arguing with them because I'm that person. I still don't remember seeing, and I'm not supposed to know because I've asked and I got a hell no. Kid you not. That's how my mom came forward. Hell no. You're not supposed to know now. Will I know eventually? I don't know. But you should always just ask for signs. Like you'll know it because they leave change, feathers, dragonflies. So so this is not so much a guide, but my mom, who's passed away, this is a funny little mom story in spirit. So about 6 months after she died, we had to make a decision about selling. We used to have a multifamily and we had a single family. Something happened with we were going to have to sell it. So we were in Rockport. Have you ever been to the Dark Star Philosopher?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Terry Milton works over there.
Oh my God.
I love Terry.
Oh, I love that building. So we were in Rockport, walking down Rocky Neck, went into the store. There was someone doing readings for 15 minutes. And I wasn't doing any of this yet. So I said, I'm going to get a reading. And it came the reading was really good for 15 minutes. Exactly what I needed to hear about my house. Because as soon as I said, what should I do? And she's like, sell the house. Your mother's like, sell the house. I was like, okay, Mom, thank you. And so we wrap up when I'm walking out and we're just talking about signs and stuff. The next day, now there is woods behind my house. There is a deer in my yard and I can see it out my door and it's staring at me. And I'm like, usually the deers just run through. They don't hang out. So as I'm getting ready to go to work, I keep looking outside periodically and it's still there. And I have pictures of it too. It's like walking around, just around my front door. And I'm like, this is so strange because they normally don't hang around. Usually they're getting chased by something. And it was like 20 minutes, about a half hour, that deer was just hanging around. I remote started my car and it didn't move. Normally your car starting would scare them away. So eventually the deer moves on and I'm talking to a friend. I'm like, yeah, look at this picture of this deer. I'll show you the picture later. Staring at me. She said to me, well, did your mother call you deer by any chance? I went, she did all the time. So I then said, Mom, thank you. I appreciate the sign so much. Butterfly next time, something a little bit smaller. And I swear to God, 2 days later, there was a monarch butterfly on my basement door that just stayed there for hours. Like we're going in and out. It never moved. I'm like, thank you, Mom. Much better. Appreciate the butterfly over the deer.
Very sweet. That was nice, Jill.
Yeah, so that's how they, you ask, and they will come through.
Yeah. Okay, you want a question?
Sure.
Here is one from Crash Cast Traveler. This is from last night.
Ooh, I like your name.
Jilly, can objects have bad energy?
Yeah.
Like the consultation couch in the ICU. Our hospital has had the same couch for at least 25 years.
I would say no to the couch in the ICU, but ICUs are definitely weird places to be. Objects can carry, like, just a heavy, kind of bad juju kind of energy, and that's easily fixable. You can just sage it, cleanse it, or just don't keep it. But hospitals are tricky. Do you know hospice nurses and regular nurses, if someone's about to pass, they always open a window, even if whatever their beliefs are, they always open the window because that's for your spirit to go. That's just a thing. They all do it. So that's why in hospitals, a lot of people see, especially like if you like me and you're really sick and you're kind of out of it, you see people hanging around because, and I'm so sorry, I got like this horrible tickle like from I've been sneezing all day.
What is it, pollen for you?
It's pollen, and like I said, I got woods in my house, and everything's growing. So I've never experienced it, but I would say just for sanitary reasons, after 25 years, they might want to get rid of it. How do you feel about that? I mean, how would you feel about that, Corey? If there was like a couch at Addison Gilbert for 25 years?
Well, that building's been around for 120 now.
But even that's
basically
gone a facelift.
Yeah.
Here and there. So, but if
a lot of heavy energy there, though.
There is, because that's what it's mostly now. They have a hospice ward, and it's mostly for inpatient. Their inpatients are like next to nothing. Funny enough, it's always about me. When I was sick, so everyone heard about me being really sick in March. So I wasn't feeling good all of 2022. Come to find out in October, my infections came back because my kidney stones had reappeared even bigger this time. And I was in the hospital, like literally in the hospital, home for 2 days and back. And I was actually admitted to Addison Gilbert. And the nurse said to me, which was really scary.
This is our local hospital.
Our local hospital that is just really like it. They just stabilize people and move them on. But I'm so grateful it's still here. She said, what's really interesting is that you are my youngest patient, but you are also my sickest patient. Yeah, and the hospitalist, I think a few hours later, transferred me to another hospital. I think the more that she looked at my record, she's like, yeah, I'm not touching this. She's going to Beverly. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting for her to say that. I was her youngest, but I was also her sickest.
Yikes.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that hospital definitely has a lot of history, and luckily the old buildings are gone. They demolished all those old buildings.
Yeah, I did some story on the when the 1918 flu epidemic hit and how Cape Ann reacted to it. So back then at Addison Gilbert, they had all their hospital beds outside.
Yeah.
And they had wooden planks that the nurses all had to walk on, and they were continuously they had to wear face masks and cloths, right, over everything. And they had to just wash theirs and the patients like every 2 hours.
Oh,
hundreds of them. And there's some cool, it's obviously awful that happened, but cool photos of all the tenants out there in the lawn. I've done pieces on that before.
So this is what I knew I was forgetting something. The part I did catch last night was about local lore here and where we live. And I have a book that...
Oh, paranormal.
So guess what? Dogtown is huge. Right. And when I saw you guys talking about it, you weren't live anymore, so I couldn't say anything. But we do, so besides the sea serpent, which, I think we could, Hammond's Castle's from Scotland, isn't it?
No, a lot of that is from, it's built here, but a lot of the stuff was brought over from France.
Oh, okay. I knew it was.
The facades inside, yeah.
That's a beautiful castle. That castle is haunted. but not haunted bad. And I know this for a fact because I know someone that worked there as a maintenance man. And the night statue, you know how they usually have the armor, it moves. It changes position.
They actually removed the knight last year. Or
They
2 years
did?
ago, yeah.
See, I haven't been there, but yeah, and he found a secret passageway, in his castle.
Yeah, they have they found a wine cellar through like a crawl space.
Well, this was a fake wall.
Yeah.
That's
Crazy.
where, so, I mean, there's a lot of lore around that, but Dogtown, that was by my house. I mean, Dogtown is huge, though. It spans, Rockport to Gloucester. It's
a giant wooded area that was populated way back in the day. But there's some questionable stuff that's going on. There was some pretty weird stuff going on back then.
Well, do you know who created the rocks with all the sayings?
Yes.
Wasn't
it Babson? One of the...
I don't remember.
I have to look it up.
I just know people can get lost in there so easily. And, unfortunately, too, there's a lot of people that might camp out there. And we had someone stumble out of there drunk, ringing my doorbell one time. And I might have partied there as a kid. And the res.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Tish L says, yes, let the spirit fly. She always did open windows for her patients.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Rose blue sleeping porches were a big thing in the South. I think when I was researching that piece, I think I got some photos, especially from Red Cross workers who had, there were cool photos of the sleeping porches from back then too. So pretty amazing. And then, basically 100 years later, we go through the same thing again.
And there's another house that I know for sure is haunted in Gloucester. And I think it's owned by the city now. It's like a historical. It's by the Rotary. That yellow.
The White Ellery house.
Oh my God.
No, the yellow house.
The yellow house.
Yeah.
It's been on the market like 10 times. I know someone that did work there.
Well, that was the original. That Rotary was the original meeting place, Meeting House Green.
Oh,
when the town was when it was still a town, not a city, and being settled back in the day. That was the meeting place for everyone. It's now like a Rotary or a roundabout. That's sort of the entrance to Gloucester. So
now I've got to call my cream egg.
There, you do use cream egg. We're past the top of the hour now. It is just after 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's get metaphysical with Jilly Beans, who's doing angel deck tarot readings tonight. We got to get into these cards at some point. So we're all cut up now. We've done a couple of questions already. If you have questions for Jill, send them our way. In the meantime, Jill, would you like a question?
Absolutely.
Okay. This is from Vicky Nedwick, who just asked this in the chat. A crop circle showing a gray alien was decoded as a warning against false gifts. Was the warning from the alien shown or about the... Was a warning from the alien shown or about the alien shown? What the hell does that mean?
Corey can't read his own copy and paste.
Yeah, this happens a lot. Anyway, Jill, a crop circle showing a gray alien was decoded as a warning against false gifts.
And so, kind of a little bit of a loaded question, but so, there are crop circles that have existed and people have been able to prove that they're not real. There's actually a woman named Patty something on Gaia. Her whole thing was crop circles, but there are a lot that are unexplained. And I do, regardless if that is truly from aliens, I do think the message, if they decode it as false people, that's a real thing, especially in the UFO community, because there are unfortunately a lot of false prophets, false psychics, I guess you could call them. I don't know how you would want to classify them, but so I would say there is a warning, and I've even said that here, just use your own discernment, always do your research. If self-referrals are the best. And I mean, the crop circles, don't they happen in the Midwest and Europe, if I remember correctly?
Well, it seems like that a lot. They crop up everywhere, but that's where they're most noted.
I just also feel like if you're gonna take that much effort as a person to do a crop circle, because you really can only see them high up to make sense. It isn't like they're always. You might notice the pattern eye level, but that's a commitment,
But
man.
I have seen growing and gardening experiments where you can actually plant things in circular patterns,
Absolutely. Yep.
you know, which is pretty wild.
Well, I joke that I have a crop circle in my backyard because the previous owners had an above ground pool, so the grass is dead. We can't get to come back, so I got a big brown circle.
There you go. Cool. All right. Thanks for the question, Vicky. Hope that helps.
Ooh, I want to answer Jones because
we're going right to Jones now.
So yes.
Oh, Sharply said crop circles can also indicate buried ruins.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Okay, Joan Baker asked, Jilly, I've been seeing a green orb every time I take pictures of the full moon. When I enlarge the orb, there is an angel with wings. Is this one of my guardian angels?
Most likely it is. Even if it's not your own, it's an angel that's watching over you, regardless. So the interesting thing about guardian angels, so I learned a little bit about Kabbalah when I was learning. And when it was first, like my mentor first said it, I'm like, you mean like the red string bracelet thing, like Madonna does? I didn't know that there was this whole metaphysical side of it with angels and cards and astrology. And it was fascinating. And when you're born, you actually have 3 angels. So altogether, there's, I think, 78 angels. But there's different levels of angels. Like you got, you know, your archangels and all this other stuff. But with Kabbalah, when you're born, you're given 3 angels that are assigned to you. And so I wish I brought my book. So if you know, so it's based off your birthday, and you can, one's like your intellect, your heart, and something else. But these are like lower level angels. They just mean they're doing like, say, they're like the worker bees. They're the ones that are like, I'm here to help you with the intellect. So they're the ones running around helping you with that. Where like the archangels are doing like the bigger work. If that makes sense. And if anyone's interested, I work with 3 archangels that are like my go-tos. And of course, Archangel Michael is one of them, Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Raphael. And whenever I want to know truth, or I'm working through shit or past wounds, Gabriel's always the one that comes forward. And when he comes forward, I'm like, oh, it's going to be painful. And some people see Gabriel as a woman, some see him as a male. I see him as a male. I don't know what that means. And Archangel Michael is like the hot one. He's like gorgeous.
Easy over there.
I'm just saying. It's like
cream egg's gone to her head already.
Not real. Just, you know, there's a reason why he's like the, you know, second hand of God. Just saying.
There you have it, folks. Should we pull a card for somebody?
We can pull a card and see where you want to go. I got lots of angel decks.
So I know. So Joan asked last week for a card.
So Joan would like
the song that brings tears and chokes me up is God Alone with Amazing Grace. There's that, Joan.
Yeah, there's some songs that I was actually talking about this. There's like some I can't listen to because they remind me of a time like when someone passed. But at other times it's like I really like am so grateful when I got that song. And my friends that have passed, like certain ones, like I have a friend that loved Led Zeppelin, loved Led Zeppelin. And right before my mom died, I kept hearing Led Zeppelin. Like, what's up with this? It was my friend just kind of letting me know he was there. I was just reading what my friend wrote. So it's Joan, right?
Yeah.
What kind? So I brought
one of our Joans tonight. This is Joan Oblinger or Oblinger.
It's so funny because like I brought these. So these are the first 2 decks I bought that day when I bought my other one because I had to get angel decks. So these are just regular old school angels. So hold on, I'm just seeing what other ones I have. And this deck these are all during Virtue because that's who it was back in the day. Oh, you know what? This is the other one. I do have a Guardian Angel tarot deck. I feel like this is what I'll use. This deck, I will say, even though I like this author, I didn't really love this one, but anything angel related I grabbed tonight. So I know someone most likely will ask, what is the difference between an angel tarot deck and a regular one? So this guy, Radley, I always say his name wrong. I can't say names right. He does beautiful decks. I have another one of his.
Radley Valentine.
Yes, his card decks are beautiful, but they're a little complicated. His other one that I got because it's gorgeous, but when I first opened it, I'm like, I can't, this is too much. But now, like, I can use it now that I understand it more, but there's so much with the illustration. So this is a Guardian Angel deck. And I pull this one out a lot when people always want to hear from their guardian angels. Why wouldn't you want to hear from your guardian angel? And I've done some readings for like young adults, like say 14 or 13, like my cousin's little girl, who I feel like this is it's a nice gentle reading, and who doesn't want to hear from a guardian angel? The only thing I'll say I don't like about it, it's so big and my hands are so small. Like seriously, like I'm sure Corey's hands are like 10 times the size of mine. So this is for Joan. Let's see what your guardian angels want to tell you. And a lot of times with angel tarot decks, they change up the names, like they'll make cups water. And then I have to go look in the book to be like, okay, so what represents swords and what, they change it around. That's why these are not so much like traditional tarot. And these illustrations, as you'll see in a sec, they're like storybooks, like when we were younger, like Dick and Jane type. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, see that falling out of my hands, and I can't. This is what's hard with these decks, because like I could drop the whole deck. I'm like, yeah, no, those are not jumpers. Okay. So see, this is what they look like.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna read it first, and then I'll show everyone. So this is 8 of emotions. So emotions would typically be cups, because that's what cups represent in traditional tarot. You feel a deep longing for someone. Sorry, read it wrong. You feel a deep longing for something meaningful in your life. In your heart, you know there's more out there waiting for you in the world. It might be time to switch careers, move to a new home city, or initiate either important changes in your life. Do what's right for you and seek out a magical life. So a lot of times 8 of Cups in traditional tarot means change and all that. So this falls in line with that. So now you can show them what it looks like. So that's what the pictures look like. So that's one of the biggest difference. Like there's just a picture of a girl, but this card is saying for you, your guardian angels, if there's been something you want to do, and have I read for you before? Did you ask me about retiring? But this is encouragement.
Maria Rodriguez did last week. I remember that.
And that's the way I really got to keep track of like.
Oh, it's hard.
But yeah, that's just, there's a lot of emotions. There's change. And I think a lot of us are just feeling, that's what the whole theme of March has been, right? Can I just see this one more second, please?
Sure.
Thanks. So I think the reason why you're asking too is because you're feeling that unrest. Like there's something more like, you're ready for that change. And, so your guardian angel is encouraging your change. They feel like if this is what you're feeling in your heart, you need to make a change, and you might know what it is. Oh, she's already retired. Okay, so I'm sorry, because I think we have 2 Joans that come in, right?
We do.
Okay.
And there's also Joan of Arc too, is usually in as well.
But I think it was the other Joan that asked me about retirement. But so Joan, are you thinking about? I'm obviously not changing careers because you're retired. Good for you. But are you more? So I'm hearing though, are you more curious about metaphysical stuff, not necessarily card readings? But is there something that you've been interested in that you keep toying with pursuing? Because it might require, I'm going to make like a class, like a knitting class, or you want to learn how to paint or something like that. Is there something that you've been wanting to do or something that's going to fulfill you? Because I feel like that's what this is about. It's like you're interested in learning new things because you're retired, And you're almost a little, it's scary learning something new. I mean, that's for sure. Let me know if this makes sense.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, she can fill us in.
Oh,
She's
yes.
with us. Oh, yes, Jilly.
Good. Thank you.
Good, good?
Good.
Okay. Thanks, John. We have other names in the queue as well, but we want to get to another question here from Sandra Spidel, who's always with us.
Yes.
It's about quantum power, Jill. Have you experienced quantum power when you really need it without realizing it was quantum power?
That's a really good question. I'm going to have to look at what quantum power is.
Do that very quickly.
Do that, please. Thank you. Oh my God. John aside, I don't have to Google stuff. I got someone to do it for me. It's an inside shit. He'll get my joke. But quantum power is interesting. Maybe that's how I managed to work from 5 a.m. and still come here tonight. Let's see what quantum power is.
A manifestation of quantum energy expressed through the conscious or unconscious desires of a nova.
But they can also be found in Trinity.
Hmm.
Oh, what's an example of? So, photons. So, I guess my answer is I have found, so as really. So, I can say this about quantum power. I was dead today. Like when I say dead, like if I lift my glasses, you can see like my dark circles in my bags. I was so tired, like I barely could, I was trying to get ready. You would never know it now though. I feel so awake and alert. So if I was to say what quantum power is based off those quick Google searches when I was reading over Corey's shoulder, that's the energy boost I feel when I do these and I do readings, because I do become very energized. Now, granted, after like that first live stream, I did a lot of cold readings for, people that I'd never seen before, which was so awesome. But then there was the crash afterwards. You know what I mean? Because like that was a lot of, I always release the energy afterwards, but it's like you get a crash after doing a live stream too. You get kind of wired and you're just in it, and then you have to wind down, then you're like dead. But that's what happens to me. I know when I used to stay up late and do them, it'd take me an hour to just wind down. So I think that, but especially with readings, because it's something, for one thing, I love, and that energy and just, pulling from my guides and the universe, it energizes me. So right now I feel more awake than I have in 2 days. And last week when I was here, that positive energy from the live stream, carried. I woke up the next day in a great mood, going to work, and it stayed with me till about noontime. That's why I love doing this, because it is an exchange. It benefits me sometimes more, I swear.
Lady Levy has a cool question here. Jilly, what do you feel about this current planetary alignment?
Oh, funny you say that, because I was trying to look at that. I ran out of time because I know there's been some big, because planets have been in some big transits right now. And I didn't get a chance to finish looking at it. I do have one thing though, because it's actually on my phone, because I screenshotted it. Who's texting me? Oh, nobody. Nobody important, no children or anything. So Corey, you could be like my elevator music. So there is this once, I'm very picky. I'm not snobby. I'm just picky about who I follow and whose information, like for astrologers and stuff. I really like this girl. She's Malika Semper Astrology on Facebook. So I guess Moon is in Cancer, which I always dread a little bit because Moon's all feelings and Cancer is family. Is making a loving trine to Neptune and Pisces. This creates magic of the heart. Relationships that are started now take on a dreamy, romantic, faded quality. So all you single ladies and single men out there, this is the time for love. If you meet someone, it's going to be magical. Love is certainly in the air. This is also great for our poets, artists, and other creativity people. Imaginations will run deep because that's what Neptune's about. Neptune's like that dreamy land that we all like to go to. And we can pull from hard energy to create anything. Pay attention to your dreams. Always keep a notebook by your bed. If you remember a dream, write it down. These are the signs and answers, signals with hidden meanings. Honor your inner world. Move into introspection. It's time to tap into the quiet, instinctual realm that lives within the core of us. Love is alive. Heart connection is alive. Yay. And romance and dreamy qualities. So that's going on. But I know there's other stuff going on. Like there was a big something with Saturn and Mars recently. I'm trying to get back into astrology. I really did like it when I was studying it, but it's a commitment.
This is true.
I had to make flashcards. Oh, speaking of astrology, someone had mentioned one time in a comment about Deborah Silverman, and that's who I did my classes with. Deborah Silverman's a very well-known astrologer. She actually did Sting. And she lives in Hawaii. It was her classes that I took, her level 1s and level 2s.
Okay.
And she does really cool she has a video series, if anyone ever has time. She acts out each zodiac sign. It is hilarious. Like she dresses up, but she does a 2-minute spiel like if she was Scorpio, like how a Scorpio will talk. She gets all dark and stuff. They're hilarious. I highly suggest them.
There you have it. You want to pull a card for someone else?
Sure.
All right. How about for Christina Kavanaugh, who is feeling a little lost?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're feeling lost.
We're going to the angel decks tonight, folks.
I almost want to pull like a universe has your back, but we can. So I'm not against grabbing 2 decks if you're not against it, Corey.
No.
Because the universe has your back is just a message. It literally, the card says it all. It just says the universe has your back. You're feeling a little lost. Oh, it's so funny. I almost brought a deck that I have. It's like what your soul needs to know. Yes, here I am. Don't mind me. Oh, you want to do a fun trick? You can do a fun little party trick. How about that? I am getting out my pendulum for a reason. Because when I'm torn about what deck I should use, I'm going to pick 3 and we're going to let the pendulum decide for us which one. So that one, though, this one I'm going to put over here. So what do you need to, you're feeling a little lost. So we'll do this one.
I'll be just over here out of frame.
Don't mind Corey. Corey, I'm the star of the show tonight, right? I was going to do self-care, but we're going to stick with angels. And this one. So I'm going to take these 3 decks and you can turn, and I'm going to use my pendulum to decide what one you should use. So you can hold this and turn the camera. You're going to have to hold it down like this. I'm going to teach them. So we're going to ask. So people have asked about how to use a pendulum, right? And this is a great example of when I don't know, I use my pendulum, or sometimes I close my eyes and just run my hands over it. And then I stop when I feel guided. So what was her name again? Is this the deck we should use? It is saying yes, but we're going to ask all of them.
This is for Christina, by the way.
For Christina. So hold that one. Because normally we want to make sure you can see it in camera. So hold it. And all I'm doing is you got to get it still, which is always a little bit of a pain. And then just ask, is this the deck for Christina? Nope. And when it goes my pendulums, everyone's can be a little different. Mine are counterclockwise for no, clockwise for yes. And we'll ask about this one. Is this the deck we should use for Christina? Nope. This was it. First one. But I didn't want to not ask after being like, well, let the pendulum, and then be like, oh, that was so, I see that 187th of her collection. So for Christina, because she's feeling a little lost, so she just needs some guidance. And I can pull a card, but you too can also ask your angels. And I think a lot of people have heard me say now before bed, close your eyes and just ask for help. You just have to remember when you ask for help, you have to look for the signs because you can miss them. So what do the angels want to tell her about feeling a little lost? But I think you're good that you're here, because that's a good thing, because you're with, people that care and are, rooting for you, so to speak, right?
Yeah. And we want to reiterate too that Jill's giving away a 1-hour reading tonight. We're going to spin our prize wheel later on. And if you want in on that, all you have to do is become a bridge buddy. We have a bunch of names in there already. So there's still time to get in if you'd like to.
Oh, yeah. So Christian, I saw your little thing with the books. A friend of ours does audiomancy, funny enough. Oh, intuition and downloads. 1 second, then you can hold it. Because I just got to look. So if you're feeling lost, intuition and downloads, you actually might know the answer. It's just listening for that answer is what's hard. So this angel has her eyes closed and it's like everything's coming through. So that's where like messages would come through, is through your crown chakra, right? So now you can show the card. So if you're feeling lost and you don't know what next steps you should take, what direction, your angels are saying intuition and downloads, which means the answers are there. You just have to be open to hear them. So what they want you to do is, before you go to bed, or you don't even have to be in bed, if you go for a walk outside, somewhere quiet, you sit on if you have a deck, or just somewhere where you feel very grounded and calm, just close your eyes and just listen. Because the voice, our intuition, is so soft. That's why we miss it all the time. Because if you ask, what are my next steps? I'm feeling lost. Like, where should I go next? You're gonna hear a little voice that might give you an answer or an inkling of where to begin. Because if you're feeling lost, it's sometimes not as simple as just do this. It might be taking a step to do something, and that step will lead to something else, and that's will get you back to the path that you want to go to. These types of questions are the ones that when you do one-on-one with me, we really go into what's blocking you from hearing the message. Because that's the other thing. Sometimes when we're feeling lost, we're preventing it from coming to us. So what is it? What is it that you're, not seeing? What is it that is preventing you from seeing it? Is there like this? We all have those stories in our head. We're not good enough. We're not this. Oh, I could never do that. What is it that is not allowing you to hear your intuition or get the download? Hope that helps. I know I can't really answer feeling lost, but I got another card because this always happens whenever I flip them over.
Yeah.
Your guardian angel. So your guardian angel is watching over you. And so just ask your angels, or even just ask yourself and listen to the answer and write it down and be curious to hear what your intuition has to tell you. Sometimes it's like what we don't want to hear all the time. Like, Jill, you got to go get your lab work done for your doctor's appointment.
All right, folks, we're already 1 hour in. We're just at the bottom of the hour here, 7:30 Eastern time. She is Jilly Beans, and we are doing angel deck tower readings tonight. Jill brought 100 angel decks with her this evening. So that is what's going on. I'm Corey from The Bridge. How you doing, everyone? We want to fill you guys in quickly on what's up for the channel next. I believe I'm with Deborah Lupien on Friday privately. She's giving me a reading. She is Deborah Lupien, voice of the Akashic Records. But then she should be back with us Tuesday night live for another show with her. So please tune in for that. And then next Wednesday, I believe the good doctor and I will be on talking, pets and
Birthdays.
houses and birthdays and all that stuff too.
Bruins being in the championships.
Yeah. And then we have more goodies to unravel in the month of April as well. But first things first, Jill's with us tonight. We have some time left, of course. She's also giving away a 1-hour reading. You can become a bridge buddy. If you already are, you're in the prize wheel for that spin later on tonight.
And Corey, did you put my email in the chat? So if people want to reach me, they can.
I think I might even have it copied and paste. Yeah, there it is. So this is Jill's email, Jilly's.
That's how you can reach me.
If you want to get in touch with her.
If anyone wants to reach out, because Facebook thing can be a pain. I did give Corey permission tonight. Instead of making him my secretary and middleman, I said he could just put it in the chat.
Yeah, and Annalie, if you want to, that's cool for you to copy and paste as well.
Yeah.
To throw in there every now and then. Or Thankful Mom, either way.
Or Christian, if he's around.
Or Christian, who's busy working away tonight. Cool. Okay, you want to pull another? What do you want to do?
So if you have another question, or... Because if not, then I can do cards.
Let's see. I do have a question.
Okay, give me a question.
From Tim Walliser, who's been with us from the start of the chat. Oh, by the way, Christina says, thanks so much. I really needed this. You are awesome.
You're so welcome. I'm so glad I helped.
So there's, okay. So Tim asked, you previously answered a question about pet souls. Remember that?
Yes.
Thank you. What about animals we eat and who may even kill us and eat us? Is there any interaction on the other side?
So, unfortunately, like the circle of life, right? It is, the movie was right, The Lion King, it is the circle of life, in the sense of, animals eat other animals, we eat animals, some don't by choice, and I totally get that. I'm actually not a big meat eater, I don't like red meat, never have. But there's a difference. This is more my opinion than anything else. I do think there is a difference between your pet and, the animal that you might eat. Because if you think about a pet, your pet is like part of your family in a way. I do believe, though, all animals have a soul. Dogs, horses, pigs, whatever it is. I do think they all have a soul. But it's almost like they know they have a purpose here. And I think when it comes to like losing our pets, they're part of our family. That's why they stay with us. And that's why a lot of people, after they lose a pet, they might hear a scratching at the door or feel like a cat needing their bed. But when it comes to what we consume as people, I think that's a different connection. We didn't have a connection with that animal, but I guess that would be different for farmers, though. Ooh, yeah, it's about that time.
Going to the moonshine, folks. Cheers.
Ooh,
I don't want to interrupt you, Jill.
Nope, that's okay. But I was just going to say, I think, you didn't have a connection with that animal beforehand. And yeah, so I guess I do believe every living creature has a soul. At the end of the day, every living creature has a soul. And unfortunately, it's part of life. It's, it is the circle of life. Like people will complain about, there's a bug. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but they eat another type of bug. So it's like, it's all part of our Earth ecosystem. Is part of what's supposed to happen. Tigers have to eat. I mean, unfortunately, I do have a lot of coyotes near me, and I hate hearing things that happen, but I also know it's just part of life, unfortunately. Even though I am totally against hunting, like the hunters that do it for sport, like the elephants and all. I don't agree with any of that sort of stuff.
Hunting, yeah.
Trophy hunting, yes, but I do know a lot of people that hunt and they eat, they eat that, they freeze in. So I do think that is acceptable. That's actually better for their bodies and just, in general for us. So yeah, does that make sense? Am I rambling? I don't know, probably not. And I didn't even have the shot.
Now, people are going to think I'm going to turn red now. Although last week, didn't you feel like, I think I had a sweatshirt on last week and it got hot in here. last week.
Well, that was what, on your third one, Corey?
Yeah.
It got a little warm in here after we all still had the door
It
closed.
was the booze and chocolate show.
It
so there was
was.
that. So.
Oh, look and see if you notice your cone is gone too. You didn't even
Yeah.
notice it, right? It just
I did. Actually, it turned at one point. I was like, well, is it supposed to just...
no, it just turns to ash. That's all.
Yeah.
I just toss it. I throw it away.
Okay. Cool,
No,
cool,
we
cool.
didn't, Meredith, but I didn't bring him any more.
No. Well, though you do have 5-gallon buckets full at your house.
Well, you know, I thought I did, and come to find out, I don't know if someone got into it in my
Oh,
house.
2 sons you have, you say?
2 sons, one might be 24.
Interesting. Yeah, it's gone.
No, we still have some, but I thought we had 2 bottles left. We only had 1. But I don't drink.
Okay, good. All right, ready for another question?
Sure.
This is from Spiritual Seeker. Hi, Jilly. My youngest son moved out this week. Will he be able to adult? I'm always worried about his health.
Yeah.
She's a mom.
She's a mom. I totally get it. You know, I know how hard it is for us to let go of our kids. And God knows, like, I have my 24-year-old living with me. And my 13-year-old today asked me to make him, I'm like, you want something to eat, honey? Can I have a bowl of cereal? I'm like, you're really asking me for a bowl of cereal?
You have to make it for him?
I was like, I really have to stop. Like, if he wanted me to cook something that's different, but I'm like, seriously? And he asked for Honey Nut Cheerios at first, and I'm allergic to nuts. I'm like, you're really asking me for that? So, but anyways, I digress. So I can't read about your, like, you know, what's going on with your son, but I can ask about what you need to know to help him. So it's a good thing. He needs, like, I don't know how old he is, but it's good that he's trying, and I get it. They don't take care of themselves.
We're all hoping he's not in his 40s. Spiritual. Let's start there.
Oh, let's see, what do I want for this one? I swear it's like the toughest part is deciding which one I want to choose from. So I'm going to go with my empowerment deck.
All right.
Because we're asking what you need to know, because that's what you need. He's 27. That's a good age.
Oh, there you go. 27's a big year for everybody.
It is a big year. So on that.
Something about Mars, I'm going to say.
Saturn.
That's what I meant.
Saturn. You were close. You're getting there, buddy.
Yeah.
Because that is your first big Saturn, like, return, whatever you want to call it. I can't remember if it's, like, it's not, I don't think it's come full circle yet, but that's always something to look at in your charts with Saturn is, like, what happened in your life between the ages of 27 to early 30s, and then comes back in your 40s, and your last one I think is in your 60s. Can't remember, but I just know both of mine were big, and it doesn't always mean bad. A lot of people, that's when they get married and have their kids and all that stuff. That wasn't my case, but that's okay. So what does she need to know about her son moving out? Because we're going to empower you and empower him. I think he knows you're always a phone call away. I don't think there's anything wrong with us, like, having to give our kids guidance. Like, granted, like, you know, I don't know about you, Corey, but I just figured shit out eventually. After hard lessons, I moved out really young I just turned 20 when I had my first apartment.
Yeah, I was bouncing around, but I always was home. When I was in Gloucester, I was always, because that was never an issue. And I was always really close with my parents. But I would, like, traveling as a comic. So I was always, like, I always was living out of a suitcase.
You're a gypsy.
For years. But then I would always, if I was back in Gloucester, I would stay there because it never made sense to, like, get an apartment for 6 months.
No, that's different.
Yeah.
You would leave and come back.
But I did. But eventually, when I moved to Los Angeles, it was to literally change my life and go upside down, which is what I did.
And that worked out well, because look at how it side up.
I can't stop growing up now.
Well, look who you met and, you know, all that you did. So the card you got was Union, and it's greenish. So that's like your heart chakra, because you love him. You've seen the unseen allies draw upon their strength, join forces with friends, and flourish. And there's a dragon and a fairy, and I love my dragons and fairies. So this card is to tell you that your son is going to be okay. There's people there And it's going to all kind of come together for him. Could be bumps in the road. He does have to take care of his health, but see the like how the dragons like protecting the fairies. So think of your son that way, like he is covered, he is protected, and he's gonna be okay. And there's a union. I think the union actually means it's instead of like, even though he's moving out, your relationship will be different because he'll be more adult. Even though they're always our babies, they're always our little boys and little girls, but he's going to be more adult now. So that union, you're going to come together in a different way because he's actually going to experience what it's like to have to be responsible for himself and feed himself and hopefully do his laundry and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be okay. Just, as a mom, we'll always keep tabs on them, but we do unfortunately at some point have to let them go and let them, I don't want to say fail, but they have to learn lessons. We all had to learn lessons. And I think that's like when we get a chance to help, because let's face it, I don't know about you with your experience, but my boys don't always want to listen to me. And then they come back and tell me I'm right. But it's like, this is time for him to spread his wings and maybe to find him. I'm hearing he's going to like find himself. I don't know if he's struggling, but it's like he needs to do this on his own. This is really important for him to be able to do this on his own. So does that make sense, I hope?
She says, so true. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, spiritual seeker. Yeah, it's so hard. And it's funny, when my 24-year-old, when he went to college, he loved living away. And then I'll never forget having to clean up his apartment when he was a senior. And I really didn't think he would end up living with me once he graduated, but he still is. But he's been a huge help. He's a really good kid. Love my boys.
You want a question or you want a card request?
Why don't we do a question?
Okay, Jilly, are there certain metaphysical subjects or topics that you just can't wrap your head around?
Yeah, there is. Like, so there's so many different ways to read stuff. So there's scrying, which is pretty much when you see like, the psychics would have a crystal ball, right? That's actually a thing, It's called scrying. And it's very weird and very kind of, messages are already cryptic as it is. And it's like, I'm like, I don't think I could do that. And there are some concepts within the metaphysical world that I'm like, yeah, I just can't believe. Like, there's just some things when I've heard people talk about them, I'm like, I don't know, that's kind of going too far for me. But I will say one thing that helped me is, especially around losing a loved one, there was a documentary series on Amazon about like souls and when you pass away. And they did a great show about parents that lost children, because that's something we always have a hard time wrapping our heads around. Like, how can you take little kids? And to hear these parents talk about it and what they learned was fascinating. I'm gonna end up sending Corey like all these things to be like, put this and this and this, because I gotta remember the name of the series. It was really good. The other one concept I did wrap my head around, but it was hard to do at first, is like, we have our soul family. I do believe like we sign a soul contract or whatever you want to call it. We come to this lifetime to learn something. There's a lesson we want to learn. And a lot of times the protagonist in your life is someone you loved. And I was like, what? That person? And there's one that sticks in mind that I worked on Forgiven for a year. Like, I actually, in my head, singing really bad too now. Like, I actually loved him. And he signed up to be the asshole in my life. And I was okay. Like, that was really hard for me to wrap my head around. Like, I picked him to do this to me? What was I thinking? But the more I learned about it and sat with it, I'm like, it actually kind of makes sense. Because there was something for him to learn in this lifetime through that, for him being that protagonist in my life. I was like, ugh, when I first heard that, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I picked the person that's gonna mess with me. But I do believe it's true. Like, at a soul level, who do you trust more than your people that you love? So that was a hard concept for me to really digest and go, okay, I'm okay with this. I can be okay with that.
And there you have it, folks.
Hope that answered.
Yep. Okay, we do have a card request from Barbara Rosefield.
Okay.
Who's feeling sad. She has pain in her shoulder.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'll send you lots of healing love too, Barbara. So self-care jumped right out at me.
Oh, all right.
That was a quick one. Because you're feeling pain, so it's jumped. I can't read the chat.
You're fine.
No. I want to start reading it, and I'm stopping myself.
Oh, yeah.
Because I saw that it's geometry, and I was just wondering if she was talking about like sacred geometry, because I almost brought
No, that was the quantum power question.
Well,
but that's why the chat's got a life of its own right now.
Well, funny enough, I almost brought my sacred geometry. I swear to God, I almost brought my sacred geometry deck, and I didn't. So for your shoulder pain, for Barbara, have you been to the doctors yet, or is this something that you always have by any chance?
Is it chronic?
Yes.
Barbara, if you're still with us.
Because, we do hold stress in our bodies. That's for sure. My back was killing me. So, what does Barbara need to know for self-care to help with her shoulder pain? Because she's feeling kind of down. It's telling me to use your hands. So, you can hold. These ones are easy. So, use your hands. But maybe it's not your hands specifically. Maybe you do need some physical therapy. I don't know if you know, and I know we got Reiki masters in the chat. I don't know if you know or if there's any wellness centers around near you that could help, because I really feel like you would benefit from it, because Reiki is not just about it's just so healing for so many things. Like, it just helps with how you're feeling, and it does sometimes help with pain. If you're going through a tough time right now and you're stressed, if you have prior shoulder injuries, your stress tends to like to go there. And when I see all the stuff around her, because even though she's using her hands, I feel like some of this is related to maybe another issue going on. Once again, I'm not giving medical advice. It's more just, we hold stuff, like we hold our emotions in our body. Like, that is like, that's known in the medical community. Like, stress will manifest in different ways. And of course, pain makes you feel down, because especially your arms, you need to be able to function. So, I would suggest taking like an Epsom salt bath, because salt baths are great. They pull toxins out of your body really, really good. That's why we're lucky that we live near the ocean, because during the summer, we can just jump in the ocean and we get that same effect. So I think like doing a soak with some Epsom salt will definitely help. And I think it'll just help you feel better overall. Because I know when we're in pain, we don't feel good, right? Especially if it's your dominant arm, right? Like if it's the arm that you write with, that must be miserable. I hope that helps, but you definitely use your hands. I do feel like it's not necessarily oh my God. So look what the next card, this is for you too. Massage. So I do feel like this,
as Rudy Hernandez commented in the chat, massage the scapula, look up internal.
So I kid you not, massage I turned it over. That happens all the time. So I do feel like this, it's like tension. So you definitely need to get some hands on you to kind of work out some knots. And massage is great just in general. I don't know about you, Corey, but massages are awesome. Not that I get them.
I've only had one in my life.
I had one, I've only done one too.
And I was halfway through the massage.
I just because I had a bad joke in my head.
The massage therapist really gets an emergency phone call from her kid at school and had to leave. Not only did she had to leave so fast, I had to close up the shop, turn the lights out, and lock the door.
Oh my God.
That was the one time in my life.
Only you, Corey.
She had to run out. It's like, I know. Like, all right, I'll take care of this. Yeah, I had to lock the register. I had to shut the doors, the lights.
It is funny because only you that could happen to, because anyone else would never have done that.
That was the one time.
So you've never
She's like, yeah, we got to finish up sometime. Like, it's not, I mean, what do you want me to do?
So my thing is like, just because even though Corey and I like side by side and we'll like kind of elbow each other, I typically don't, like, if I don't know you, I'm better now.
You don't want physical contact?
I am not really good with people, especially if I don't know you. Like, I was not a big hugger. More so, like, I've got, like, people I know, like Corey and other, but some people, they just hug. I was not that person, but I'm actually better now. COVID taught me that lesson. I initiate them now, which is something I never used to do before.
Moonshine helps.
Moonshine helps too. Well, I mean, alcohol helps. So, that always makes everyone love everyone. But that was just me. But to have a stranger kind of, and you're supposed to be naked, even though you're under this, like, I was just like, I just don't know. But I did have one. We did one on vacation, and I will say it was great. But I don't like to too if they use too much like of the, how they usually put lotion and stuff and like greasy. I don't like that feeling. That's just me though. So I hope this helped you, Barbara, with what you need. Definitely need some self-care to help with your shoulder.
Yeah, there's some good advice in the chat as well, which is nice to see. So
actually, yeah.
Rudy is a licensed PTA.
There you go. And yes, the tennis balls, I actually got one of those rollers. I got a foam roller that I used to roll out because I used to actually work out at one point, believe it or not.
Good.
Crazy. So do we want, what time? Oh, it's 8 o'clock.
Almost 8, yeah.
We didn't do a poll yet. Should Corey pull a card tonight? I think he should. He had a shot.
What are we doing? Well, last week what happened is we got questions, and you feel like, well, Corey, what deck jumps out at you?
Okay.
So, I mean, I think that's something we could just naturally do too.
So why don't you? I'll let Corey. You can. Should
we work out of someone's name you think who have had every question, or how should we do this?
I think you should pull. So how many people do we have that just want readings from?
Well, it's going to be everybody, but I do have 3 names down.
So I want Corey to just pull for the channel, just because I think you should. Okay. What do you want your collective here tonight to know? And feel free to pick from anyone that you want. So
actually, the one thing that jumped right out at me was the word energy.
This one?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're going to the energy deck, folks. I was actually thinking about this before we went on, because I'm thinking about how the channel is going to behave. So
you want them right side up? Okay,
that's all. Fan through these, or
no? I just wanted, because you were about to shuffle them upside down. That's all.
And I was actually thinking about this before the show tonight. I was thinking, if I were to ask the viewers out there, like, say if I wanted if there were a theme song for the show or some sort of theme, what genre of music do they feel like fits like the vibe of the channel? And it was just kind of imagine what people would think, because I could think of like my favorite genres of music, which wouldn't necessarily fit the vibe of the show. Rock. So I was thinking, well, what would people think? Would it be like island music, like calypso music, like fun? Would it be like upbeat jazzy thing? Would it be something ambient? Like, what would it be? That's a great question. I think you definitely should find out, what would our theme, like, what would your theme music be? Yeah. Jeez, here's the card I pulled. Well, I had a friend that used to say, that's my theme music. Every good hero has one. So, Jilly, I pulled the community card. What do you know? Literally, we're just talking about this right now. So now what does a 7 represent? Is there a 7 of?
So 7 can be choices and decisions. 7 is a great card. Community. Well, you're supposed to. So granted, it's girls, right? And it's the
My
power.
kind of community.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's so the power of 3, is very powerful. That's like a thing. Like, I know if you watch the show Charmed, the power of 3, but if you notice, all the girls are different, right? So that represents all the different collective people that come here, because not everyone's the same. It's a collective. It's different. It's like-minded, but different. So now I want you to look at the card closer for 1 second. And this is when I'm blind.
Yeah, me too.
So, like, one girl is playing an instrument. One girl has flowers all around her. It just shows that we got a really great, diverse community here. Everyone has something to offer. Everyone has something to contribute and to bring. Everyone has a different gift. So do you see how that works now?
Interesting though, right? Jeez, of all the cards to pull, here I am talking about the community.
Well, at least it wasn't a man holding a heart, Corey.
Well, you never
know.
know.
That's the creepy card of this deck.
So
this one's actually for you too, I bet. Door to value. There's value to what he does, pretty much.
Christian says it's kind of like a speed metal with a dash of calypso and a soup kind of polka. Yeah, I don't know what it would be. I mean, the tuba is sort of a fun thing, but yeah, I don't know what it'd be. But I always kind of thought that in my head.
Well, yeah, you definitely should put that out there to your community. What would we have?
Something like the Twilight Zone would be fun.
Ooh, definitely, depending. Or we could do Star Wars, the Imperial March, which might be my ringtone.
Really? Of course it is.
It is my ringtone because
that's not too like dark and morose.
No, just I could walk in just dun 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 dun, dun, and I actually have a lightsaber going down as my text messages. I'm such a dog.
Wait, Janet, what are you thinking? What the theme? I don't even know. But anyway, so I'm just throwing that question out there for fun. What sort of, if the channel had sort of a theme, what genre of music do you think would
we be?
Seems to make sense.
I know just from past experience.
Soupson, a bit.
It's like I look at you and I think 90s metal hair bands, but that's just because that's what we grew up with.
80s, the 80s.
80s, and I think of Nirvana blew up when we were seniors. Remember? If we heard that song one more time. All right. So who else wants a card?
Oh, let's do a card for Joy Rico. Joy's with us. She just mentioned something upbeat for sure. So.
Joy. So this deck. What?
I was looking at that deck too.
This one?
Yeah.
My Angels of the Atlantis. I believe Atlantis is real before anyone even asks. Yes, I do believe it's real. I do think it existed. I'm hoping it still does somewhere. If in case.
Oh, by the way, you should mention that it is 1:00 now. 8 a.m. in Singapore, 8 p.m. here in Cape Ann, Massachusetts. And how you doing? She is Jill Dillaberti. We call her Jilly Beans, and she is doing reading from her angel decks tonight. She has 1,000 tarot decks. She brought the angel ones over tonight to answer your questions in real time. And I'm Corey from the Bridge. How you doing?
Hi. So the show was quirky, so the music would have to be quirky. So then I hear I
would almost think like Christian, I'm throwing this out at you, something like the Violent Femmes, maybe something like that.
So this deck I love it. So it's all the angels. Even though it says angels from Atlantis, it's all the angels. And this guy, he actually had a really interesting Stuart Pierce. He had an interesting YouTube channel. I had watched a couple of his videos a long time ago. But I do like this deck. I love Atlantis, the lore of Atlantis. Did it exist? I think it did. I think they were advanced and something happened. And some people will say they left on purpose. Some people say it wasn't their choice. Jury's still out on that for me, but I definitely think they existed. I like to think I'd be a princess there.
I let Jill go on.
I got 2 cards for you. So you got Uriel, which is abundance, Raphael, which is empathy. So 1 second. So what was the thing? I don't want to say your name wrong. That's why I'm just
Joy.
making sure.
It's for
Joy.
Joy.
Okay. I just am always checking because I don't want to be like, hey, Joanne. So for you, you got, so Raphael, so he is the archangel that you call upon for healing. But this is all green. It's your heart and empathy. I feel like this represents you. You got a lot of empathy for people. And Raphael supports you with that as an archangel. And there's a lotus flower, which is always awesome.
Also, your favorite Ninja Turtle.
Yes. Oh my God, Power Rangers 30 years old, you know, this
Mhm.
year. God help me, I've watched more. The next one is Uriel, which is abundance, which is all in pink. And Uriel, I believe, is like your creativity. So, what do the angels want you to know? They want you to know they appreciate who you are in life. You always come from a place of love and from your heart, which is so important. And I'm hearing there's no accident that your name is Joy. And then for Uriel, like I love the pink. That's like creativity, abundance. You're always going to have abundance in your life. So if you want, and the trees are all lit up with like a lot of, whenever I see white or stars, to me, that's like angel energy, it's healing energy, it's good vibes, it's good vibe feeling. So even though like people will see Raphael and be like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? It's not really nothing bad. They're just there. He just supports your heart because I feel like you got a big heart. So he's just there helping you to stay in a place and not kind of get jaded, so to speak. Does that make sense?
There you go. Yeah. A lot of people like the Violent Femmes comment. They're throwing songs out there too. Christian also mentioned they might be giants, which is a great suggestion as well. They're fun and quirky and all that. My favorite Violent Femmes tune, by the way, is American Music, if you guys ever want to look that up afterwards.
So back in the day, remember the band that Mark Pelosi, Dominic?
Yeah, Aces High.
No, their other one that came after that when they were still doing oh my God, they were at the rum line all the time. It was just the three of them.
Oh, and Padre?
Yes. What is the name of that band? We used to follow them around everywhere.
I'll think of it. I thought it was
because you should get like F-Bomb or one of them to Groove Therapy was one of them, but not all of them were in.
No,
only
it's just Pelosi. Maybe
Pelosi.
Padre for a bit, but most less Pelosi.
Because we used to follow Groove. You should get one of them to do a song for you.
Well, actually, I've talked to Guy Cloutman and Justin Toko. They're going to do a theme song.
Oh my God, I think Guy was Guy in
Yeah.
that band with Dominic and Mark too. I feel like
he was in other bands like Lime Tank with Dana Blatchford, and this is all Gloucester talk.
Sorry, I totally derailed. But they were great local people we went to school with that had awesome bands.
Yeah,
back in the day. All right,
good. It's good. There's a great music scene in the area here. Really cool. So what are we doing now? We just pulled for Joy, right?
We pulled for Joy. So you said you had 3 names.
Oh, I do. Well, Marby, we love Marby. She's always supporting the channel. So Marby Gangora. She might have had one last week, but let's do her again.
It doesn't matter.
And then I think we should do one for Rudy as well, because Rudy helped out with that shoulder pain issue. He's a PTA.
So would Marnie be offended if I did Rudy first?
Well, let's do Rudy. Yeah, Marby's cool.
Okay.
All right, Rudy, this one's for you, buddy. And thanks for being with us again.
What do the angels want him to know?
Wait a second, Tim. Your kid's making us boomers feel old. Don't know your song. This stuff's like 40 years old. We're talking about the Violent Femmes. They might be giants. That's at least 30 years old. Yeah, these are all 80s bands we're talking about. 80s into 90s.
Yes. So I think we're just gonna stick to our go-to just angel for him.
All right.
Because even though, Rudy, tell me if I'm wrong, I was actually kind of drawn to my romance deck, but I wasn't sure if that was really the direction, but that was just...
Rudy?
The first thought I had, the first pop in my head was my romance deck, but I was like...
Easy, Jill.
Not for me, for him.
Oh.
But I just wasn't sure. I'm like, I'll just go to the angels instead. For Rudy, what does...
I know we're gonna pull one later for our wrenches tonight.
Of course.
I already know from which deck too. And you do too.
Do I?
That's gonna be the fun one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, which one? They're all fun, Corey.
Well, you know what I mean.
So for Rudy, so what do we need to know for Rudy? Because he already does great work as a physical therapist. God knows, I know how important your job is. I have had lots of physical therapy. How about you, Corey.
No.
Whatever.
No. Oh, he just got engaged.
Oh, so that's why I was drawn to the romance angels. Oh my God, I feel like I should switch. Oh my God, do I switch?
Hey, listen, you
I
feel
know.
it.
Oh shit, I gotta switch. It's like, it won't go away. It's driving me crazy.
And Annalie would like to remind you, please no swearing on the channel, Jill.
I'm sorry.
I'm
It just
teasing.
happens
I'm teasing.
sometimes by mistake. I
I'm
try.
teasing.
I really do try.
We grew up on the docks, folks.
My mother had a mouth like a trucker. I am much better than she is. So this, I can tell you already, this is for him.
Oh,
Passion,
Rudy.
allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. I'm going to pull another one. So that engagement, lots of passion. Sounds like you found your person. See, this is where it's like, I have no boundaries whatsoever. Because I'm like, well, he's already engaged. I probably should pull from the other one for him. But this was the deck that was really calling to me. So lots of passion. This is
These
like,
two.
they go, yeah, it's still.
Does this remind you of something, Rudy? Jeez.
But no, it
Hose
sounds
'em up.
like you found you found your person. Congratulations.
This is, by the way, this is the tip jar. Every time Jill swears, we get a cream egg.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we can come up with a punishment for me, I guess. So the other card I got for you was past life relationship. You have known each other before.
Rudy.
And here's just a little nudge, nudge. Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. Marriage is a give and take. Wedding planning can break people. So you're gonna have to meet in the middle. Let go of the control issues. Is about getting the wedding, planning the wedding. You got engaged. This is fantastic. But now you have to plan the wedding. Hopefully you're going to be smart and like do destination, go away. But regardless of what you do, planning a wedding is just stressful. That's just a little reminder to let it all go. It's all good. Your wedding will be magical, right? But it sounds like you and your fiance might already have known each other in a past life. That's what they're saying.
Huh?
It's all good, 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 good.
Yeah.
Lots of love. I do have another deck that if we were in the after dark, that we could have. I don't have it with me, but
Oh, yeah. Right.
I would have brought it with me. Those are 18 plus readings.
Mm.
I hope that helps, Rudy.
We'll do that some night. Yeah, we'll do a midnight show sometime.
Yeah. And they are very descriptive in their illustrations.
We're gonna ring the bell for Rudy on that one. He seems to be tonight's viewer of the night.
That's all in her realm. I'm sitting back on the plane. That's what you say, Rudy, until she comes to you with an invitation. You're like, what are you doing? Just saying.
Good. Okay, are we gonna pull from Marby, or do you want to?
Marby, because Marby was kind enough to let him go first, but we're gonna still use this deck because we like
Marby,
this deck seems to like to come. Surprise me. Oh. So what does Marby need to know tonight? For what do the angels want to tell her? I don't know. Let's see.
And last call, by the way, to win a free 1 hour reading with Jilly Beans. Become a bridge buddy if you're already in. Congratulations. If not, Annalie has the link for you. Got to get an ASAP though for tonight's drawing.
So for Marnie, I'm getting surrender. Did I? Oh, ring the bell.
Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
So surrender for you, Marnie.
Marby.
Sorry, I say names wrong, and I'm always trying to be better at it. So your angels, whatever is weighing you down, whatever, you know how they say, like when you're feeling lost or whatever, you just give it up to the universe. The angels want you to surrender your woes, your worry, whatever's weighing you down lately. They want you to, you can hold it down. They want you to surrender it to them. See how he's like holding the light? It's like, give me your sorrow, give me your pain. I am here. Just surrender it to us. We'll take it back so that it's not weighing on you. So that way you can feel, have you been feeling like heavy, like weighed down lately? because you know how when you're feeling down, you just feel heavier, like you sag your shoulders and you slouch and you feel like you have the weight on the world. Oh my God, my left ear just started buzzing too, which is really strange because that's what happens when spirit starts coming. Um and they just want you to give it to them, surrender it to the angels, to the universe, so that way it's not weighing you down and not making your heart feel heavy, because that's not who you are.
Very nice. Hope that helps.
Yeah, so yeah, my left ear buzzes when spirit comes around, but it went away. It's very strange.
Carrie Brinson is asking, how do we get in the drawing? I'm a bridge buddy. Thanks for the show invite. Carrie, if you're a bridge buddy, you're automatically in every drawing. So you're in there already. So thanks for that.
What time are you doing the drawing?
We can do it now if you want.
Yeah, let's do it now. Who's
right,
gonna
folks.
win?
We're cutting to the drawing for the free 1 hour reading with Jilly. I got to share my screen here.
Are we gonna polka dance?
I think so. I don't know how loud it is for the folks that are at home, though.
I heard you can hear it because I listened to the replay so I could watch the live chat.
All right. So everyone's names are in there. Now, Annalie, your name is actually still in there now. So we know last week's winners were Sue Etsy, and then I believe Laura Johnson won as well. So if they come up, we'll just skip them and spin it again. Annalie, if your name comes up, it's up to you whether you want it or not, but I was going to keep your name in there. So anyway, we have a bunch of names in. I'm going to flip this up here. We're going to turn up our polka music. The drama, Jill.
I know.
All right. Who is going to win a 1 hour reading with Jilly Beans?
The suspense. This is when you should be taking a shot.
I will.
There you go. Meredith is gonna hate me. She's never gonna let me back in here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh.
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 Claire.
Congratulations. So close.
Congratulations. Nydia, you were so
Oh,
close.
we were so close. We thought it was gonna be you.
Thought it was going to be you, but it's Claire Ceramic. And I know Claire, she actually signed up for an entire year to be a bridge buddy. So congratulations, Claire. We'll get in touch with you and figure this out ASAP. But you have won a 1 hour reading with Jilly Beans. How awesome is that?
Yes, that's awesome. And Marby tipped you list, so I think we need to ring at least 2 bells
Oh.
for the winner. And give me my little one. I like my little bell.
Oh, you like the little one?
Well, yeah, because we got a ring from Marby and for our winner tonight. So this is the winner.
Beautiful.
Those are loud. It's so funny because
We
for
love the
ages
combo.
we couldn't hear them.
All right, good. So yeah, congrats, Claire. Claire's with us all the time. I don't know if she's with us tonight. Nydia, we're so close. Maybe next time. So we have you there too. So awesome stuff. Yeah, we could have Tim says we could have a polka theme song. It's not out of the realm. I don't think Guy and Justin would write, but this is a different kind of show. So you never know. But anyway, cool stuff there.
You definitely need a good vibe though. We need like a good vibe. Like I'm hearing right now, like Justin Timberlake's song from Trolls.
Oh my God.
I know.
Go to your room.
No. Whatever. Just because you're older than me, Corey,
I know.
by months.
It's close, but Meredith still tops us both.
I know.
Don't you forget that. All right, do we want a question or do we want...
So how many more questions do you have? Because then
There are other questions here.
Yeah, I'll do
Some
another
weird ones.
question. Then I think we should do some cards because it's already.
You want to go right to the cards?
Well, no, I'll answer another question because I'm always curious what people want to ask me, and if
Do
I
either
know
of
the
these
answers.
call out to you? Because I was going to ask about this one, but there's always this, which is interesting too.
Yes, so I
this one?
just need to quickly say hi to Mrs. Jonaside. Hi, Renee, because she said hi to me. Is there one deck that keeps calling to you?
Yeah.
Yes, and I tend to go on. I don't want to like. I'll be in a theme where I'm always drawn to the same one. Lately, it's been this one, and this is one of my newer decks, and I just really find I like it a lot. And I found it because the girl that I got certified to my Reiki with, when I went for a treatment, this was the deck that oh, we gotta ring the bell again. There's Rudy. This is the deck she used, and I really liked it and connected to it really fast.
Thanks, Rudy.
Oh, so the other one that I'm drawn to, I forgot. Oh my God, it's in my bag.
Oh my God.
So this is, it's a good one though. It is my, because I was going with my like, no, that's my tarot deck. Not my tarot deck. It's another one. Hold on. It's probably in the bottom because it's in a pouch. It's called The Power of Thought. And this one I started pulling from every day for myself because it's just a really great message, especially if I'm not feeling great that day about myself. But this would be great. I put this in my bag and I totally forgot, but it literally, so this is from Louise Hay, who created Hay House, where I get a lot of my card decks from. Hey. So I told you I signed up for that card thing. This was this was in the first one.
Got a jumper.
Well, that was actually just really me dropping it because so yeah, this is a great deck. It's just the power of thought. So every day I started pulling from this, and I have a little stand and I leave it on my desk. So I see it. And I usually pull
almost like a daily affirmation or something?
It is. Yeah. And it's so spot on because one day it was like I was talking to my friends about my YouTube channel, and it was all about going in the right direction. This is a great little, that's what I love about card decks. They don't have to be angel or mess or like a psychic type thing. It can just be something positive you need to hear that day. Like, you're awesome. You keep rocking it. And that's what this deck is for. And this is, I think I might do the collective with this one later.
Beautiful. We got a request from that from Dottie.
Yeah, we always do collective. Yeah. We got to. So yeah, that's my answer about decks that call to me.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, want to pull a card for someone?
Yeah.
How about Mary Loden or Loudon? I'm going to say Loden unless she corrects me.
Just so I don't. So Mary.
Yeah.
So what does Mary want to know? Oh
wait, someone's at Reverb's asking which deck is that again? It was this deck?
Yes.
Here you go, Reverb. It's a Kyle Gray.
Kyle Gray.
That's an original Kyle Gray right there. I wonder if any kids who are into the metaphysical thing would have tarot cards like in the spokes of their bicycles. Would
That'd
that make
be
sense?
Awesome, but I don't think they would.
Throwing it out there.
You
America.
never know, because to them it could just be a card, right? To make the funny noises. Yeah. Ring the bell.
Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon. We appreciate it.
So for Mary, I am going to pull from Work Your Light, my Work Your Light Oracle.
Oh, all right.
And I usually, like I said this before, that I use this one a lot for anyone in the metaphysical world. But this is another one that I really liked because the pictures were pretty and I like the messages. And this deck I do know has a yes and no card, believe it or not. Mrs. Jonaside Tower of Dragon. I got my dragon oracle. I love dragons. Just so you know. I love dragons. I actually have
Loden. We got it right. Mary Loden.
I do have I have a dragon on my altar and another dragon thing. I like dragons. Dragons are cool. And they're real. I don't care what anyone says. They're real. Elementals are real. If that's ever a question about fairies, dragons, and all those other weird little things, trolls, yes, they are real. No, we don't see them as much around here though, but yeah, definitely fairies. Fairies like to mess with you.
I have to buy you like a card shuffler.
No, because yeah, it might take too long for you, Corey. Pull your own cards.
No, I'm teasing.
I know you are. It's all good.
It's the drama. People love the build-up.
Oh yes, I got the Akashic Tarot, and I do have my Weight Rider. That's like and Corey has one too. Funny enough. Boop. There it is.
There you go.
So
and the spokes on my bicycle.
Right, and actually, back in the day, people, and it still exists. People use deck of playing cards, to read. I would like to learn that, honestly. So for you, Mary, so funny because I said, oh, this deck has a yes and no. You got yes, but you also got Mara, who is triggering you. So this card, we'll go with this card. So the Mara, so she's looking in the water. Who is triggering you? So a lot of times when people, I don't like to say trigger because that's such a buzzword these days. Were you triggered? But something irks you about someone or something or behavior or someone's really grating on your nerves. A lot of times it's a reflection back to something within yourself, either that you have done in the past or there's something that it hits a nerve inside of you for a reason. because there's something that that's not sitting well. Maybe you said something to someone, or there's a situation and you just can't seem to let it go. So I don't want you to take this as like bad or negative. It's just like, because if you like, there's all these pretty flowers and stuff. It's actually saying to be gentle with yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror, to that reflection coming back at you. Because maybe, yeah, maybe that's really the message, is being kind, like giving yourself a break. Because then the next card is yes. Just say yes. And again, power. You'll always see a lot of cards. They'll represent three angels. The power of three is really there is something about that connection of like three metaphysical people, three witches, three, however you want to call it. There's something about that power structure. If you think of like, a triangle, there's something about that. And that's there's like a pyramid behind them, which is always to me like your ancestral knowledge. And it's always like, and when I look at this card, like the top of the pyramid has energy coming down to the center point, and then you have the people around you. So the yes is just more, you got magic all around you. Never forget that. So I believe what the angels are trying to say is, you always have magic and knowledge around you. And to remember, you can hold these up if you want, because I didn't get to do that. Always be kind to yourself. I am trying to change. Oh, she's trying to change our food. So that's what it is. It wasn't so much someone else. It's you. It's reminding you to be kind to yourself when you look in the mirror, or when you look at yourself, to be gentle with yourself. Because I feel like you're harder on yourself than you really should be. That we're not perfect. And coming from a perfectionist, I get it. But, really they're just telling you to just be kind and gentle. You're loved because you have so much protection around you and so much knowledge that you're okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Hope that helped. Jonathan's asking about the coordinates on my shirt. This is actually a Magnolia, Massachusetts, part of Gloucester right there.
I didn't even
Because
notice.
like lat 43, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Just below that is the southern part of Gloucester, which is Magnolia Village. So that's what that is right there. Is that on my back?
It says Magnolia, Massachusetts. Yeah, because Magnolia's been trying to be its own city away from Gloucester for how many years?
So there's that.
Oh,
so
prayers
that
for surgery. Yes, sending prayers for the surgery.
Yeah, so let's pull a card for PC, whose husband is having surgery tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, thinking about PC.
We are thinking of you.
And hope that helped, Mary. That was nice.
Sorry, just give me one.
That's okay. And while Jill's waiting for a deck to jump out.
Healing angels.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
Because your husband's having surgery, so I think this is appropriate.
Yeah. And just a reminder, next week, Deborah Lupian, Voice of the Akashic Records, will be with us live Tuesday night. And then I believe I will be with the Good Doctor next Wednesday night. I'll let you guys know if anything changes. Also, our newsletter comes out first thing tomorrow morning. If you want to get in on that, just email me at hello@bridgecapeband.com.
So what PC needs to know about her husband's surgery?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if that was a jumper. That was weird. So we're going to just read about like what you need to know, because I can't really tap into what will happen, but what do the healing angels want you to know? And this was actually my, one. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
That's a jumper.
We got a jumper.
So, hold that. I want another one. Well, actually, no, there is two. Never mind. There are two. They were stuck together. So you got focus and intention. I need a better kitty seat because this chair. So intentions, it's all, when I look at this card, I see white healing light. You can hold it up because you're better at that than me. It's all white light and it's purple, which to me is healing. So just tomorrow for your husband's surgery, start the day by asking for help. And I want you to envision him being covered in a white protective light with lots of purple around him, because that's healing for his surgery. And that is what the angels, the healing angels, are like, set the intention that it's all going to be okay. Your husband will be protected. And also ask that your guides and angels guide the doctors and surgeons doing the surgery to make sure that everything is in his highest and best, and that he's going to be, in good hands. And then the focus. So I feel like the healing angels for the focus is just telling you you'll be having to take care of him. And I don't think it's bad. A lot of us need care after surgery, but there's going to be a lot of focus on your husband, and they're just there to support you, to say, just focus, just, make him your number one priority, because he is your husband, he's your partner. So don't lose, and it's not like you don't lose sight of that, but don't let people get in the way of that or make you feel bad because maybe you're not available. You need to focus on him. He needs your energy right now. And we're all sending you lots of love and prayers that everything works out okay. Let us know how he does next time we're around.
Yeah, please do. Yep, hoping for the
Hope
best
that
there.
helps.
Okay, thank you, PC, for the request. Ms. Barbara, what you want to do, Jilly?
What do we want to do? Is there another person?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Wildflower Wind.
Oh, Wildflower. I see that
Yeah.
name a lot. So, Wildfire.
Oh, I want this one, Jilly.
Which one? This one? Ask you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, Corey picked a deck.
There you go, Wildflower. This is for you.
This one I don't use a ton, so the cards are a little sticky.
Ooh.
Sorry, yeah. This is where my tiredness can come through. Like, I can be bubbly in energy, but I'm dropping crap everywhere. So, what does Wildflower need to know from her guides? What do her guides want to tell her right now? So this is, on it, I was just looking at the box cover, it says direct link to your personal psychic support system. Isn't that interesting?
So the deck, folks, we're using.
And this one,
A Sonia Choquette or Choquet. I'm going to go with Choquette.
I do have another one of her decks, I believe, somewhere. I don't think I have it with me though. She's a good author though, and she does she's like does Facebook Lives and stuff. She's a good, like, I enjoyed listening to her. I learned a lot from her. She was one of the first books I listened to. I don't think I downloaded one of the books. Wildflower. Ooh, look at you. Purpose Master Teacher. So ask your guides. So you definitely have a very driven purpose. So you can see that this person is walking on like a path right to their guides, right? There's a master teacher ready to receive you. And like, the person's got flowers and gifts, but you have a purpose. And isn't it interesting, Wildflower, that they're holding flowers. So that is you walking your path in your purpose in this lifetime. This is confirmation from your guides that you are doing your life purpose. And I got a funny feeling you're in this realm somewhere, the metaphysical realm. Whether it could be something like hypnosis all the way to mediumship, but there is something, you got a very laid out, very direct purpose, which I'm so happy that you do, because not all of us have that like direct line of what we're supposed to do. And you're a master at your craft. That's what your guides are telling you. And you're very connected to them, whether you realize it or not. So yeah, I like that for her.
Very cool.
Ask your guides. You got purpose.
Yeah. Awesome stuff.
Yes. What time is it?
8:30.
Okay. So do you have any other questions that are easy or?
We had Joanna just asked one, right? What changes will I see in the next 3 months? Tough.
I can pull a card. I can't really nail down a time frame, but I can ask the angels to see what they want to tell you. I didn't know if you had any other questions from people about just things in general.
Do have others.
I'll take one more.
Jill, did you hear about the report on Oumuamua, a reddish cigar-shaped interstellar object spotted by astronomers in Hawaii in 2017?
I did not, but Corey will send that to me in a text so I can look it up because that sounds very interesting.
Oumuamua. Now, when I think interstellar and a reddish cigar-shaped object, that brings me back to the Brady Bunch episode. Because that was reddish and cigar-shaped.
Yes, it was.
But that was just a bed sheet and a kazoo or something.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
There's been a lot of reports lately of more like UFO sightings. I saw there was some phenomenon that I saw on TikTok. Can't remember what city it was in. But
I'm gonna type this name out for folks too, in case they wanna, if they've heard about this.
Yeah.
Mua.
And actually, no, I'm gonna just put a note in my phone and I'm gonna look it up.
That's a weird one.
Because there's a lot of stuff like when it comes to it, there's so much out there that we don't know about, we have not seen yet to be discovered. I mean, poor Pluto has been gets demoted from being a planet to a star and back to a planet. Hey Pixie Dust. Glad
Pixie Dust. Hello. Yeah, good to see the latecomers.
Yeah, it's okay. Better late than never, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this was Hawaii. I am Hawaii.
We'll just take a picture of it after.
No, I got it in my. It's done. That's all I need. Is just I'll just do that Google search.
Yeah.
So I'm good. Okay. So
good?
more cards. Let's do cards because we'll probably end around 9ish or so.
Okay.
Depending
So Val in Southwest Pennsylvania is just asking about anything from her guides.
Okay. So Val wants just a message from their.
Yeah. What my guides want to tell me.
What do your guides want to tell
And basically, and then also we have the same question for someone else too.
Okay.
So.
Fantastic. I feel like for you, Val, I'm gonna pull from my Starseed deck. Just because even though it's like says Starseed, it doesn't mean you have to be a Starseed or feel like you are one. It's just more like, because you're asking about your guides, this is a little bit more metaphysically driven, so to speak.
We also want to congratulate Claire Sarami for winning a free 1 hour reading with Jilly Beans earlier tonight.
What do you guys want you to know? They're always around. They do act, your angels. One thing I learned, like your angels really want to help you, but we have to ask for help because we got free will, but they're always like waiting up in line. So don't be afraid to ask for help. They can't give us winning lottery numbers, but they can definitely help us and guide us through life, right? Especially now that that was almost like 4 cards, but I can't.
Made a break for it.
Can't do 4 cards. So you got double mission, light worker starseed, serve the world by being you. So your guides want you to know to just be you. They like you're perfect who you are. What do you guys want you to know? That they love you and that the path you're I'm just pulling another one just for the heck of it.
Even if there was crazed gold light shooting from your eyes and mouth? Yeah,
that's because gold is awesome. Because think about it, like they're just saying like, and they say double mission, which means like, you have a purpose, like a reason why you're here, but you also just, do it. I can't. This is what's hard.
The big spill.
Like, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So pretty much this. So correct. I'm just looking at this quickly. I if this was private, that'd be different. I could look at all these, perspective. So they're saying like you're a big picture thinking, connected to earth, hold on to your vision. It really, these are all just kind of confirming that. Yeah. And I'm so sorry it got really scattered just because they all came flying out. But the guys are just really saying, like, you are perfect who you are, the mission that you're on here in this lifetime, you are on the right path, and just keep being you. Yeah, I don't know about this deck. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I brought it thinking, because Deborah Lupian, part of the Akashic Records is finding out how far back and the other celestial systems that you're from and all that. So I'm like, oh, that could be cool. I don't know about if I like this one. This one might go back away.
In the meantime, I believe Crafty Lady is Claire Cerami, the winner.
Oh my God. That's who. Congratulations, Crafty Lady.
Beautiful. So there you go, folks. Another grand reveal tonight.
So are you going to get in touch with her? Or how we gonna?
Yeah. So Claire. So Anna Lee has Jill's email, and she can leave that for you here, and you can contact Jill and set that up. But yeah. Thanks for being a bridge buddy, though.
Oh my God, Sharon, yours are jumping out in clumps too. Thank you. It's just not me.
No.
So, how about we do one more person, then we'll do like the collective and all that fun junk. And I know you got to do your announcements.
Yeah, well, let's do. So Patty D has asked tonight as well.
Patty D.
Yeah. Also, what do her guides want from her?
So, Corey, I'm gonna let you pick the deck because I didn't really like the one they had.
All right. Well,
make sure you can see.
I will say this.
What's this one? Ooh, dragons.
This one jumped
Good
up.
one. Dragons, nice.
I don't know why, Patty D, but this is what you're getting tonight.
That's all right. Dragons are awesome because they are guides too. I actually saw a really cool TikTok video about dragons, and dragons are your protectors for travel. And if you ask dragons to help you, you will always get to your destination on time and safe. Just saying. And parking angels are real too. Just saying. Especially in Gloucester, you need one.
You do.
Because I can't parallel park. Just saying. I really can't. It's bad, Corey. Mrs. Olsen didn't teach that back in the day.
I had her too.
I think we were in driving school together.
Maybe.
I think we were.
It was summertime, though, when my class was definitely in the middle of the summer.
I remember doing my driving lessons in the winter.
No.
But I was 15, so I would have been 15 because you had to be 15 in 9 months. So I might have done mine in the summer because I'm born in December.
Mine was definitely in the summer. It was hot as hell, I remember.
Oh my God. I know. I'm so sorry. Corey and I keep talking about like our childhoods. So what do the dragons want to tell Patty? Which she says awesome.
I like Patty. I was breathing fire a little earlier with that moonshine.
Maybe Corey needs to finish it off with the...
Finish it off?
No, I meant like have another shot.
I'll do one for you.
Yes, for the fire-breathing dragons. Jonathan said you are awesome.
Cheers, folks.
Cheers. Salute. So you got the Black Dragon from Saturn. Brings you wisdom through spiritual discipline. Concentrate, focus on your ultimate vision. Congratulate yourself. You've passed a test. Saturn is like our principal. Saturn comes to teach us lessons. So I don't know if you just recently, like where Saturn is in your chart. Saturn was just around to kind of messing stuff up. This dragon, though, is saying you did really good. So I hear messages sometimes as movie characters, as a way to connect. I don't know if you've ever seen How to Train Your Dragon. It's like a kid's movie. And I'm seeing Toothless, because Toothless is awesome. And he overcomes so much. So that's what I'm like, that's how I'm being shown how to like relay the message. Like, you've overcome so much. And the Black Dragon's kind of like your reward because you have done so good. Your guides is saying you passed your test. You did everything you needed to do. So congratulate yourself. And we congratulate you too. You passed. And I feel like if there's been some big stuff going on, I think you're finally getting to the end of all that. And the dragon's like going upwards, right? Flying up to the sky like it's over.
There you have
So
it.
I hope that makes sense.
And we hope you're not suffering from tooth loss either.
Toothless
Patty.
is awesome. It's a great. Many kids movies I can't sit through, but How to Train Your Dragon's awesome.
She said, "Yay, I will check it out."
Yeah.
Cool, Penny.
All right.
All right, now Dottie Bucher requested earlier that we pull an angel card for all of us tonight, so we'll do that.
What deck do you want to do? Because I will actually probably pull from that one too, but we'll do what angel. So let's put the. We don't want to do romance.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. We've had this.
Actually, did we want to pull
What?
garbage?
Yes. Yeah.
So who should we do this for? Random.
Random, yeah.
So Joanna Carson has just asked last minute, can you pull a card for us? So Joanna, we have one for you.
Oh,
don't get upset with us.
No, but I think I threw it back in here.
Did you? All right, she's gonna dig that up.
Grab it.
Okay, so while she's doing that, just to reiterate, I might be recording something with Deborah Lupian, Voice of the Akashic Records, on Friday. Deborah is going to be with us live next Tuesday night. I normally go on and field questions for the Wednesday guest on Tuesday night, but we're actually going to be live with Deborah on Tuesday. So I may go on live Monday night. We'll see, to gather questions, because the idea is to be with Deborah Tuesday, and probably the good doctor Meredith is going to be with us Wednesday night this time. We think. If any of that changes, I'll let you know in the community tab or in the newsletter. But that's the latest there.
So was this? Say the name again. Sorry. Who was the name again?
This is for Joanna.
Joanna. Okay,
Carson,
I knew it was.
She's always with us too. Yep.
All right. So this is for Joanna, and we'll reveal the kind of deck it is afterwards. Corey's idea. I'm just kidding. I brought it for a reason.
Yeah, this came up on the chat last week, so then Jill showed up with it this week.
Because
Because of course she had it.
I have a deck for everything.
Yep.
So let's see what this says. Because once again, my hands are so small.
You might want some moonshine here too.
So you got the Nine of Cups. Do we want to show what deck it is first? I'll let Corey do the reveal.
All right, Joanna, we're now pulling from our Garbage Pail Kids
Garbage
deck.
Pail Kids. The official tarot deck of the Garbage Pail. If you were an 80s child, you know who these cards are. So Nine of Cups. Cups are emotions, right? 9 is definitely not bad. That's like you're filled with emotion. Because if you look, like, there's, of course, because it's Garbage Pail Kids, there's a bunch of junk, but on top of all the junk are all these awesome cups, right? So it's all good vibes. And on top of it is a Garbage Pail Fairy. So at the end of the day, the Nine of Cups, you are always overflowing with great emotions. No matter what crap people want to pile on top of you, you're always rising above, and your cups are full, your emotions are good, and you have the fairy looking over you.
Joanna says her daughter would love that.
Oh, so glad. So hope that makes sense. These were not bad. I have to say, usually themed card decks. So if people are familiar with tarot, there's called pip cards. So they do like the major arcanas, but then for like swords and stuff like that, you get a generic illustration or meaning. Like for instance, like my Nightmare Before Christmas one is designed like that. But this deck, actually, for Garbage Pail Kids, they actually did really like the so this is like the 5 of Pentacles. It kind of resembles what it does in traditional tarot. They did a pretty good job, I think, with this one. I was pleasantly surprised.
And there you have it.
Yes, Garbage got a deck for everything.
I hope you had fun with that, Joanna. She says thanks, by the way. So yeah,
you're welcome.
We can have some fun with you there too.
We like to have fun.
Yeah. All right, folks. We're at the point of the show now where Jilly Beans is going to be pulling from one of her angel decks a collective card for all of us to take with us this evening, and until the next time we meet again. And Jill, we have to have you back sooner than later.
Oh yeah.
We'll figure it out. It's a strange time over here at the house.
Strange time, but I do think it's awesome. You know, with your friends coming on. and having Deborah come back. But you know me, I'm just always around.
Oh yeah, and I have to let you guys know when I'm going to appear on Celtic Tarot Sheila's channel. That's in the works as well too.
So so we're not gonna do this one.
Okay.
That's the side. What, you like this one?
No, I just was looking at it. It jumped a little bit.
Talking to heaven, just saying. So what other ones pique your fancy? We don't like this one. Don't.
Yeah.
That one is not my friend right now.
This one kind of jumped out.
Okay. Healing angels?
Healing
Absolutely.
angels, folks.
And this is a great, so people have asked about starter decks, right? This is like a great starter deck. And this one is too, it's just like an arcade, it's like the Archangel Oracle deck. If you ever just want to begin somewhere, and these are not that expensive either. So I always would suggest these because people were like were asking me what kind of oracles they should start with. These are easy ones.
Okay.
Healing with the angels. What does our collective need to know? And I am going to pull a Power of Thought card because I think that's going to be beneficial too. So, yeah, we probably should have done one of Christian's little things tonight. I'm trying to think if I had any books with me. Do our book read the book?
Yeah, most of my library's back at the other house.
It is?
Yeah, oh yeah. There's no way we could have left
No.
all that down here.
No. A lot of my books at one time got destroyed. Ooh, jumper. Got destroyed in a flood.
Oh, really?
Along with my diploma. My diploma's like half ruined, but I kept it anyways, even though it's moldy. So for our collective tonight, the angels, want us to know.
Haley Finch with a wrench.
Tower Destroyer.
Yeah, that happens every now and
Oh,
then.
I know. Oh, they're everywhere, Corey.
Yeah.
Self-acceptance is what they want to tell us tonight. And she's like, okay, good. But anyway, so self-acceptance. So what does the angels want us to know? To love ourselves, accept us for who we are, be kind to yourself, don't beat yourself up, accept every part of you, good, bad, warts and all, because we are all perfect. We were all made in the, as Deborah Lupian says, we were all made in the eye of the creator, right? We were all made by the creator, source, whoever, and he made us perfect. So that's what the angels want us to know, to love ourselves and love our friends here in the chat, in person. Just self-acceptance, yeah.
Let the record show that I did pull the community card earlier tonight randomly.
Yes, and I'm going to pull a Power of Thought. This is just a thought for everyone to hold on to until you see me again. I'll do this one real quick.
Oh yeah, we do have, if you want to get in touch with Jill, Annalie has her email address for you too.
Yeah, there's there. If you could have seen what my basement looked like as I was trying to, I had cards everywhere. I'm like, yes, no, maybe. Oh no, it doesn't fit the bag. That was my process tonight.
Oh, thanks for the kind words, everyone.
Yes, thank you so
Very
much.
nice.
I so appreciate everyone's comments when I get to really go back and watch them. And when the live chat posts, I can't thank everyone enough for all the kindness and all the words of encouragement to keep coming here. I really appreciate it. It's a good little community here on the bridge. So that card was self-acceptance. This one says there is no blame. I release the need to blame anyone, including myself. We are all doing the best we can with understanding, knowledge, and awareness that we have. It's kind of goes hand in hand. So maybe that was the theme tonight. Everyone was feeling a little bit down, a little bit beat up. God knows I was. So I guess that was the theme for tonight. The angels just want us to be kind to ourselves and that we're all perfect, regardless. That one's just all words and stuff. That's what I like about it.
Something to look at.
Yeah, this is a really cool little, like, you know, I really, for the most part, pull one almost every single day. This one.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you have it, folks. So, Jilly, thanks for your time tonight.
As always, a pleasure, Corey.
That
Thank you
was
for having
fun.
me. Yeah.
If you want to get in touch with Jilly, we have her email address there for you, so that you can always reach out that way.
2 hours goes by fast, man.
I know. And that was 2.5 right there. It flies. We want to congratulate Crafty Lady for winning the free 1 hour reading with Jill as well, which is awesome. Yep. And thanks to everyone who supported the channel tonight with your eyes, your ears. The donations are always cool as well. We have to thank our wrenches, Annalie Finch, Thankful Mom, Christian Montone, as always. Great seeing them and all of the familiar faces and the newbies that are popping out as well too. Very cool stuff too. We got to help Jill. We got to get a wheelbarrow to get her decks out to her car for you.
Yeah.
Like I said, coming up for me, Deborah Lupian Tuesday night, definitely live. And then we believe Meredith and I will be live side by side next Wednesday night, which means I'll probably pop on Monday night. Maybe we'll play some Bridge Buddy Roulette. We'll have to see what's going on there. Got to see how the weekend plays out going into next week. But there is that. I'm off to finish the newsletter that's going out first thing tomorrow. And then I believe I'm actually going to have a private reading with Deborah Lupian, Voice of the Akashic Records, Friday, we believe right now. That depends on my work schedule as well too. And then I'll be appearing on Celtic Tarot Sheila's channel sometime in the near future. And then we're going to be introducing some new friends to the channel in the month of April. So there's a lot, but we appreciate you guys sticking with us.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Corey, my buddy.
Yeah. All right, folks, we'll see you next time on the bridge. Until then, adios for now. Love and light, right?
Love yourself. Bye. Love and light. Cheers.
You just have yourself a cream egg out there, folks.
And a shot.
A collective cream egg.